Got the Kickstarter in. I'm not going to review this one, though. It's mainly the same, but with a mini expansion. But I am going to separate cards. Hey, how's it going? Who'll be the first to come on and comment on the Nightcap? It's always exciting when I do one of these. If you watch this all the way through, if you watch these Nightcaps all the way through, let me know. I don't know of anyone who does. New Jedi Order, Tyler. Indeed, right? I was so happy I had to film that intro twice. I made that special intro, and when my computer crashed, I lost everything. And I was like, doggone it. But it was such a good intro, so I'm going to do it again. And I did. Hey, Michael, what's going on? Look, Mike, look. What's that? What's that? Thank you. It was awesome. I love it. Pride and joy. Yeah, Vector Prime. And by the way, a lot of them are going to be, even my shortest reviews of New Jedi Order will be like normal average time, because I'm going to do it a little differently this way, because there's so much I want to talk about, and I am doing spoilers. I am doing a lot more. I'm trying to keep as much surprise as I can, but I can't help it. I have to talk about a lot of the great scenes that I really enjoy. So yeah, that was a beast. That one, and of course the last one, are going to be 20-something minutes each. You know, I think that was 22 minutes. I think the last one's going to be 22 minutes long too. So yeah, I know that was really big. Hey, Soul Assassin, how's it going? Lance, do not worry. I think I commented. Don't worry. Take your time. Read. In my opinion, I think you should read through the whole Bantam series before reading New Jedi Order. But don't worry about not watching the reviews. You can watch them later, and I'd like to know what you think. But I did have to put warning, and even though I need to point this out, I don't know if I put spoilers on every video or I say spoilers, but spoilers all the way through New Jedi Order. And like I said today in the video, you have to have spoilers, because the events of the first novel or the previous novel impact the next novel, and so on and so forth. So you just have to have spoilers. Now, to be honest, I'm spoiling more than what you need to spoil just because I love talking about it. But everyone else, just hold off. Don't watch the reviews if you don't want to be spoiled. I respect that. And then watch them later. That's totally fine. That does not bother me at all. Come join me for live Q&As or nightcaps like today. Can you take your time doing reviews so I can read the books while you do? You know, at first, a friend of mine, because I was doing these once a week, and my friend contacted me, was like, "Are you able to read every single one of those books in a week?" I went, "Well, I could, but no, I'm not." Then he realized when I started doing 2 a week, he went, "He can't be reading 2 books a week." I can. I finished Chapter House Dune. I read a little story by my brother, and I'm reading his next novel, his e-novel on Amazon. What's it called? May as well plug him. It's written in this weird third person. He knows I hate first person. Oh my gosh. I haven't checked any messages on my cell phone. Don't text me. Don't text me if you need something from me, obviously. Hold on just a minute, folks. Goodness gracious, these are hours long. What time was it? Oh, man. Sorry, hold on. All right. So, anyway, goodness gracious, how many do I have on these? That's cool. I'm going to go see Empire Strikes Back tomorrow with a friend of mine. And so these messages I should check a long time ago. I'm going to get a phone call in a few minutes. So yeah, I'm texting you, Bernardo. You're one of the doofus. You're one of the people I'm texting back. I'm sorry. I had it on the charger and I totally forgot about it. Anyway, that was really exciting, wasn't it? Watching me catch up on my messages. Where was I? Oh yeah. So anyway, I just, I just decided. I forgot what I was talking about again already. Oh yeah. So anyway, I can read them all. Oh, my brother's book. That's what I was looking up. I suck today. Where's the book? Where'd it go? There. It closed out. I guess if you don't read it in the next day. We did not reason why. It's weird. It's like a military fiction. It's military science fiction. They're fighting bugs, kind of like Starship Troopers, but it's more banter between the two teams. I mean, the two teams. It says 21% done with it. It's interesting, but it does a. We did not know. We saw them in the forest. We saw them. That's not first person, but what's that called? Third person. I don't know what it's called, but we. But there's a lot of dialogue, so I'm going to read through it. But he knows if it's first person, I won't read through it. So that's kind of a slick little trick he's trying to pull. But I'll read it anyway because I told him I would. But so far it's interesting. I mean, I don't know where he gets all his little comebacks and cut downs for the military. It's really funny. Well, no, I can't say any of them. I'll save them. So if you get the book, but what was it called again? Sorry, we did not. Oh, come on, we did not reason. We did not reason why. A sci-fi military adventure. And like I said, it's more about them just jawing back and forth than it is about fighting the bugs. And I don't know, it's interesting, it's different. So after I finished that, and I've already kind of started a little bit, but Dune, Hunters of Dune, I read like the first chapter or so, and I'm back into Dune again. Chapter House Dune was really hard to read. All right. Oh, thanks. Yeah, the intro. Like I said, I really worked on the intro. I filmed it once, then lost the video. And I said, dang it. And I was like, no, I was going to just give up and say, I'll just use my regular intro, and decided to do it again. Now, the guy who does my music and everything for Matt's Expanded Universe and a lot of stuff on my channel, he wants to redo the intro for Matt's Expanded Universe. I said, I'm temporarily doing it. I said, but we can't change that song. Everyone loves that song, man. So he's really a nice guy. He's the guy that Yub Nub ran away with a long time ago. So Fred's been in the videos before. Thank you. Glad you enjoyed the video today. It was a big one. I enjoyed it. You were informed today there's going to be a physical copy of Supernatural Encounters. There is, but I reach out to Joe at StarWarsTimeline.net. It was part of a fundraiser, and those who donated X amount we're going to get copies of the book. But he is working on it. I talked to Joe not too long ago. He's working on it. He's trying to get it done. He's had a lot going on lately. But now he's back on track, he told me, and he's ready to wrap it up. So I'm real excited to see it. You know, I read the rough copy, and he's kind of kept my review. My review is called, I think it's going to be in the book or it's in the advertisement, The Silmarillion of Star Wars. He really liked that after I read it and told him. And he said he did make the changes I mentioned. I didn't think he did. But I asked for, I didn't ask. I said, here's some things that don't make sense. And I think I remember him saying, well, here's what I think. And I was like, well, I'm not going to tell you what to do. It's your book. But I just wanted to give you my 2 cents on what I loved, which was a lot, and what I thought was a little bit out of character, which I thought this was. But he told me a while back that he said, no, I changed it. You're right. So I was like, okay. Joe's really a great guy. I can't wait for it to come out because it's supposed to have 400 pages. I mean, this thing's going to be a behemoth, but it's supposed to have about, I think, 200 to 300 more pages than when I read it the first time, when I helped us read it. You're going to see Empire on Sunday. Right on. First time seeing George Lucas film in theaters. Right on. It'll be fun. It'll be fun. My buddy is a big Star Wars fan too. He just mainly likes the films. He does. I think he read Timothy Zahn's trilogy, and he told me recently he wants to reread the Timothy Zahn trilogy and probably get into the books because he's swaying that way. But he's not much like a lot of people. He's just not that much of a book reader. But I think if he started with Thrawn again, he'd probably be more open to see more stuff. Yeah, what happened? Son of Luke. What? Here, hold on. There you go. I should need to show these. What happened to people who said continuing the EU was impossible ever since issue 1? Yeah, they kind of disappeared, right? Well, now they moved the goalposts. That wasn't a big deal. That wasn't a big deal. That wasn't a big deal. Oh, okay, yeah, because it would never come out, and it did. Now you're talking about it. Hoping to go on Thursday. Right on. Hello, like that. Oh yeah, that will be super exciting. That'll be super exciting. I know. I mean, I've already seen it twice in theaters. Once when it came out originally, but I don't remember it. My parents took me because 3 and under were free, and my dad really wanted to see it. I was told, but I don't. I want to say, here's the thing: can you have memories of when you were 3? Because I remember, I don't remember what movie it was, but I remember standing up and holding on to the front seat. And I want to say watching the Battle of Hoth, but I don't remember. I don't know. I remember. I have a vivid memory of standing up in the movie theater and grabbing onto the seat and watching the movie. But I don't think you can have memories when you're 3. Maybe when I was 4 or even 5, I probably could have had that memory of grabbing that seat in front of me. But I remember grabbing the seat and standing up and just watching it for a while, whatever movie it was. I don't know. But I remember the re-releases in 1997. That was really fun. I had so much fun on Tuesday because you're like, oh, I had to do that one. I had to do that one. Oh boy. Oh, he's talking about the Jaina Solo figure. Michael was kind enough to get me one, and I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. It really is a nice cover. It's nice. Now I want a Jason, right? Yeah, well, you know what? I did too at first. I thought, well, did this happen? Because I didn't know. And then when I found out that Nominar was in Crimson Empire 2, I was like, well, I don't remember him. I remember Mara Jade being in there, but I thought maybe that's when the poison. I didn't know. So I searched everywhere too back in the day. Is Heart of Jedi a physical book that you have different from Joe's version? No, it should be the same one. Should be the same one, to my knowledge. Nice, Tyler. Nice. Well, remember, who's that goofball you got on your? I bet you there, Brady. That's awesome. That's from one of my earliest and most watched video. What is it, like half a? I don't want to. Is it 500,000? Is it 500,000 viewers on that one? The first time I make a video, I think that was my very first video I posted, right? On YouTube. I did a prank in the class and it went viral. I remember there was some reality show in Britain that wanted to use it, and then someone else cut, and I didn't know what they were talking about, and I didn't realize what it meant to go viral, but my first video went viral, so that's why it has a lot of views and everything. But yeah, but anyway, having trouble getting into season 2. I'm sorry to hear that. Season 2 is season 2. It's different. I know they changed the art, right? And they changed the theme song and everything. So it's been a while since I've seen those. I should watch them again. I want to watch Droids again, to be honest. That's one I've been wanting to watch again because it's been a while. Yep. Surprisingly, no. My nephews are, but I never got into it. Oh man, I bet people freaked. Well, CGH, we did a more civilized age discussion about that. I think if it was handled with the right people, like the old authors and some other people, I think they'd safeguard the story and keep the integrity of the story intact. That may be wishful thinking, but that's what I believe. Moss Eisley introductory adventure game and Moss Eisley adventure set. Um, I'll have to look and see. If I didn't have it, I didn't get it for a reason. Because I remember checking down a list, and there were some I didn't get on purpose because they didn't have it. Was if it's more game involved, and I think those are more game involved than they are story. I wanted a story or information, and that's really what I was going for. But and so there was a few things I know I skipped over. I don't remember what though. But I can check those again. Okay, well, maybe I do. I just don't want to say that and it not be true, you know? I just don't want to make false statements like that because it sounds really cool. I remember when I was 3. Do you really? Like I said, I remember watching some movie that I thought was Hoth. I thought was a snow scene and just watching him, you know. But the thing is, though, when I was a kid, I used to watch Empire Strikes Back. Someone had the video of it, a VHS tape, which was very hard. And I remember they'd play it every once in a while at their grandfather's house. Nice. That's really awesome. Oh no, we got that's all they're here. Let's save Matthew Rosenberger's Matthew masterpiece. He's bringing rednecks back. That's nice. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Thanks. I'm glad I could help. I'm sure we discussed this in a more civilized age last month, I think. Yeah, I said, well, at least that one has more videos. He went, no, I got one more than you. I was like, oh, dog. But I'm fine. The entire Droids is free. I might have a copy of my own, but I haven't played. It's an old DVD burned DVD copy, and I haven't played it in years, so it may not even work. So if that's the case, I may try that out. I may try out the YouTube. YouTube would probably be easier too. But thank you for letting me know. I probably would want to watch that. But yeah, no, doing the I had to reshoot every stinking video. I had all the New Jedi Order filmed, not together, but over a couple of nights when the storm hit and I didn't have internet. I went, well, you know what? Every night I'll make 10 more reviews of New Jedi Order and I'll be done eventually. So I started making reviews every night and I was having a great time every night and without internet. And then when I got internet, my laptop crashed. I was like, goodness gracious. I lost every single one of those stinking videos and it really hurt, really sucked. And so then I decided to go back and say, you know what? I'll do it all over again. So I filmed them all over, and that's what I've been doing the past week and a half or however long it's been, 2 weeks now. And I got to do some editing. I mean, obviously that's the rough part. But other than that, they've been filmed. They just need to be edited and everything. And I've got other things I need to film too. But I'm getting, like, I got some podcasts reviewed. I'm trying to get a bunch of other things done. But I said, you know what, tonight, I was going to sit down and knock out a few more chapters in my brother's book, but I was like, you know what, tonight's a Nightcap night. That's a big box. Look how big that box is. Goodness gracious. This is the Kickstarter edition. It just came in. I have the regular game. I just got it this year. And then some guy said, hey, do you want this version? Because you had to get it on Kickstarter. And I missed the Kickstarter. I was like, sure. So he changed the address to come to me. And Yato was one of my favorite board games so far this year. Maybe my favorite. I don't know though. First Class was really good too. Really enjoyed that one. So it's definitely one of my favorites. Tune in to watch Auburn lose to Kentucky this Saturday at 11 o'clock Central Time. Quarterback situation is a mess. You'd be really appreciated with both the director using Von David War, protection of Star Wars. I'd rather George stick to Star Wars Underworld. Yes, and the Great Heap. The Great Heap. Does that come first? Is that the first one, Brady, in the storyline? I can't remember. It's like it was like a TV movie, right, or something, or a big episode. What would I think the Holy Grail is. I think the Holy Grail is up to anyone's definition. It's up to anyone's definition because, to be honest, people want Dig Magazine number dus. They want this one. This is really hard to get, but that's for hardcore EU collectors. And then there's other stuff that's kind of hard to find. Like a Heart of the Jedi paperback, hardback. You're not going to find that anymore. It was only there for like a day or two before they shut it down. Something like, I don't know. It's up to the person. Like there's other stuff. I have a collection of, I showed y'all this, hyperspace comic strips in a book, that I keep. And, to some people that may be a nice find if they could get their hands on it. I know I was really appreciative to get it because it had the final story to Rookies, I think, in there, and I didn't have that. And a friend of mine had put it together a long time ago and sent me a copy. But there's other stuff out there. Heck, what if it's unprinted novels, right? Like William C. Ditz's, oh gosh, now I forgot the name, Escape from Daegu, which we know is completed and we know he has. He just won't share it. And he can't because technically he sold it to Lucasfilm, but still, that'd be nice to see. Elaine Cunningham's Blood Oath from New Jedi Order, but she didn't have it anymore. But I wish if she could, she'd rewrite it. I know it's too late from that, but I don't know. It's up to the collector. For me right now, I'd love to get a copy of Star Wars imprint. I have a digital copy that I printed out, but it's I want to get that. I'd like to get that. I don't want to pay $50 for it. Both times I've seen it on eBay, it's been $50. I'm like, no, it's 7 pages long. But other than that, I don't know. For me, anything that I don't know exists. I'd love to have, Oh, right on. The hardcover. Awesome. Yeah, those hardcovers are hard to get. No. Oh, no. Hey, Electric Coconut. Did you see my review for Dawn of the Jedi? It's not, in my opinion, it's not that good. So don't let that get you down. But to be honest, there was someone who was going to go through it all in chronological order to think about it. That's not really a bad thing, right? I wouldn't tell someone new because I don't think Dawn of the Jedi is interesting at all. But it only gets better. Doesn't it? Doesn't it seem like that? You think about it. There's some good Old Republic stuff. There's some excellent episode 1 stuff. Clone Wars is okay, but a lot of people like Karen Traviss. I don't. But after that, you got some Rebellion stuff, which is getting better. Then you got the Bantam era, which I really enjoy. And then, of course, getting into the New Jedi Order and above and beyond. That's really cool. And you go to Legacy and everything, and it just kind of gets better and better. Maybe it plateaus after you finish Crucible. The Legacy comic books, I think, are good, but they're comic books. In my opinion, I like novels better than the comic books. But hello, everyone. Hello. No, I don't think so, but that's funny. Think about in a couple years when you get done. Probably. I didn't even read that comment. You answered it for me. Oh, Legend. Oh, good. I'm glad they keep reprinting stuff. They should reprint Knights of the Old Republic because I know that's a pain in the butt to get the first volume and everything. It's a great series, but I wouldn't pay whatever they're charging for it right now. There, exactly right. You know what? I remember enjoying it, and that's why I want to watch it. I do want to watch Ewoks again too. Maybe that's the thing I'll binge. But I want to see droids again. Oh, I've seen his Darth Revan lightsaber. And well, how do you like it so far? No, not officially. Officially by this guy. I used to print them out when they came out, and a friend of mine said, "Do you have?" Ooh, he said, don't break those. Oh no, oh no." He said, "Do you have the hyperspace comic books?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Which ones?" I said, "Which ones do you want?" And um, I gave him all that I had, and he brought it back to me. Where is that? There it is. Oh, I believe I've shown this before. Star Wars webcomics. This is unofficial. This was, I mean, obviously, look at this. That's kind of, they didn't even bother working on the spine. But it's just all the hyperspace stuff or zero issues and exclusives from all the stuff that I printed out back in the day. And he made it into a book for me. So I thought that was really nice. So it's unofficial, but let me see. There's just a bunch of different stuff on here. You can kind of see the cover there. If it's going to focus, must learn focus. Okay. Oh, there we go. Sorry. Focus, you stupid camera. Tina, eat your dinner, you stupid lard. Why won't this thing focus? Well, I'm sorry. I don't know why it's not focusing. There it is. Oh, the Soul Calibur. I forgot what was in there. There we go. So, really fun. This is a way to say thank you. I was worried because when I gave them away, I didn't have copies, but I trusted him. He made that for me. And I have some other stuff too. I'll show you in a minute. Let me get some of these things. But I have some other stuff too. Oh, the Hayden Blackman comic books are good. In fact, I think the Battle of Jabim and stuff like that, that's awesome stuff. The comic books may have some of the best, but I love MedStar. I love the MedStar duology. I thought that was good too. Whew, 7 publishing errors. Rank them. Remind me about that, Rob, later on. That's a good idea, actually. A TV special that took place after the last story arc. Okay, that's what I thought. I want to spoil something about droids, but I'm not because it's such a big surprise. I'm gonna save it for later. It's never posted on eBay. That's sad. That's sad. I hate that. And the sad thing is, it's sitting in someone's collection. They don't even care anymore, right? Really? They should have done a better job of delegating those stories out. Then are they just kind of throwing everything in one? I just backed Dinosaur World by Pandasaurus Games. I have Dinosaur Park, or Dinosaur Island, which I really enjoy. World seems like a 2.0 version of it. But I'll get it. I'll get it. Dinosaur Island's pretty fun. So I'm gonna get that. And I backed a ton, Michael, of Queen games. It was from the Alhambra Roll and Write, but I didn't get the Alhambra Roll and Write. I got everything else because they'll sell you all these finished Queen games that came out this year too. And there's a bunch of Queen Kickstarters coming out this year. And I emailed Queen. I said, look, I'm part of the what did I back? Merlin big box. I said, can I get Escape the Curse of the Temple or Escape the Hidden Temple or something? What else did I look for? The Fresco expansion and a few other things. Like there's a mini expansion for Alhambra and a mini expansion for Curse of the Temple and something. I said, look, all this stuff y'all came up with, are y'all going to add it? He went, no, but we added it to the Alhambra Roll and Write. If you want to, I'll let you sign in there. I said, okay. So I got everything but the Alhambra Roll and Write. You didn't have to order that one. I hate Roll and Write. Oh, Michael, and I just got the Yato Deluxe Edition in today. And what's the other one I got coming in? Red Harvest is coming in next week, I think. I just got my update. It's mailed. It's coming. It's on my way. So, and that's wild because no. Red Harvest was not going to be delayed. Well, it did get delayed by a month, but everything else I was backing got delayed till December, which kind of sucks. But I'm gonna get a ton of stuff into November for hopefully Merlin. But Queen Games is usually a few weeks late, so everything will probably come in December. It is what it is. I hate that. I have the regular issue, so I don't keep up with those Epic collections. I'm just glad they're making them available. I'm just glad they're making them available. Came out after the TV show. Right on. Thank you. Okay. Star Wars meets Soul Calibur. I wasn't a fan, but yeah, it is neat that it has on there. Yeah, MedStar favorite books of all time. Really? It is definitely my favorite Clone Wars novel out of all the Clone Wars novels. It is definitely my favorite. It was so different from what you see with the Clone Wars, and I appreciated them going down a different route. Okay. Yeah, I really wish they'd reprint that or someone would find it. If I ever find it in an old comic book shop. What issues did Volume 1 collect? Tell me that. Can you get the individual issues, or even those are hard to find? Ah, that sucks. Hello? Hello? Wondering which source was it that introduced the idea of the Great Heat wasn't the normal droid because he Vong Galaxy and part of the technological race, the Vong fault. The New Essential Guide to Droids. That's what you want to read. Wow. It is a very popular game. Thanks. Did you enjoy the intro? And by the way, y'all, that's going to be the intro for every New Jay order, and then I'll bring back the old intro. I just want to do something ready, something different. I have nothing. Yub Nub's Halloween special is supposed to be next month, and I have a few ideas, but I just don't know what I want it to be yet. I just don't know. Take your time. I'm doing 3 a week right now. Take your time, though. Take your time. Don't rush. You can catch up on the videos later. I'm totally fine with people not wanting to hear spoilers, and I wouldn't want it. I respect that too. Second story arc. Right, each his own. So can you find the individual issues easier? I don't know. They look nice, I'll tell you that. They do. Yeah, I really thought they I really was happy with that intro. I had to I've said this 3 times now already, but I had to reshoot it because at first when I lost all the videos, I lost that intro. I was like, screw it, I won't do it. And I thought, no, I really do like that intro. It just talks about how dark and gritty. My wife watched the intro. She's like, who's that? What's that? What's this about? Well, it draws you in, man. Draws you in. Using those Japanese covers that look so good. Oh yeah, it's going to be fun. Like I said, redoing, and if you noticed, which I'm sure you did, at first I mean it's daytime and my hair's a little bit wackier, and then it's nighttime, my hair's a little bit more flatter. That is some of the original video that I was able to save. I didn't get to save it all. The first few videos, I saved a few of them before the whole laptop crashed, but after that. I had to totally and I had to refilm a few things too because my mic was going out. So for the first 3 minutes, I've just refilmed what I'd shot and then showed my original review. And then later on, everything's going to be new stuff. I had to record because all the videos were gone or the mic was bad. The ones I say the mic was bad, so awful. But if there's any story I had to talk about again, it'd be New Geo Order. Wow. Is that a it was Legends Legacy First Tempest. Wow. I know they carried Yep, I did too. And to be honest, I mean, a lot of y'all weren't listening to me back in the day because I didn't have that many subscribers. But when Dark Horse did their digital blowout sale, I said, buy it. Borrow money. It was like $350 and it was everything they had digital right there at the palm of your hand. I can't remember how much. I want to say it's $350, but I remember I told everyone, buy it, buy it, buy it, because that you'll never find a deal like that for everything. And you can still read it. My buddy Bruce bought it and he has it all. And I didn't buy it because I have them all in boxes. But now that I'm reviewing it, I totally should have bought it. It'd have been much easier just to pull it up on my phone like he does. No, right on. Right on. If you had seen them earlier, they weren't socially distancing at all, getting a little too friendly. Weren't you? Look at this dude. He squeaks. Hold on. I thought he squeaked. Yep. Why do you have to spank him? That's weird. Yeah. That intro with the video. I'll tell you what's weird. Let me get those. If I have a moment, I'm gonna get something that my little girls love playing with. It's a unicorn and it sings the stupidest song in the world. I bet it's really funny. No, you better get off it then. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, take your time. Honestly, enjoy the New Geo Order. Don't rush through it. Enjoy it. I'm going to catch up with you very quickly, like in the next week or two, okay? But I want you to enjoy it and just not watch my videos, honestly. Just hold on, and then later on catch up. But honestly, I don't know, because I just have to spoil things. But please enjoy the books. Enjoy the books. I mean, heck, they may be so good you may not want to put them down. You may be reading that fast. I feel that way too, but a lot of people just want to skip it. But I do feel that the Bantam era is the way to go. Reading that first. Really? Did you not like? Did you Exile? Did you not like it because you thought it was too dark, or what didn't you like about it? I guess. Yeah, absolutely loved it. Your election, but I guess when it's election day, sir. Yeah, but didn't they explain that later on? Like she was serving card to long card, and she heard about it, but she said that's not the emperor or something. Like she didn't think that was the emperor because the emperor wasn't calling to her again. And again, please correct me. I think this was the Dark Horse source book, but I could be wrong. I don't know. But if I remember right, she did not hear his call. The emperor did not call her because he was trying to, save himself before, picking up old plans. And so because she didn't hear the call of the emperor, she didn't think that was him. Again, I could be totally off by that because I thought it was in the Dark Empire source book. They explain why Mara Jade isn't around. But again, you can't quote me on that because I don't know. It's been a while. No, unless it's expanded universe. But I will tell you this: on I'm answering the questions why on theexpandeduniverse.com. Right now, I'm doing the thing. I keep getting asked, why don't I collect this? Do I collect this? Do I collect that? And so each week, I'm just getting on there every Saturday on theexpandeduniverse.com, and I'm explaining to you why I don't collect a certain thing from the expanded universe or from the EU. Uh, Also, I think I'm done. I think it's done now, or it will be done shortly. I've been posting that New Jet Order review piece by piece because it's a pretty long review, but piece by piece on the website. So every week you get like a few more questions to read on. That was included in the CD-ROM of the Unifying Force. It is such an interesting read. So if you don't have the CD-ROM to check it out, then you definitely want to check out the website and read over those reviews. It's really interesting. Oh man, it's great, isn't it? It's great. Oh man, aren't they beautiful? Aren't they beautiful? They're absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely love them. No, the theme song's catchy, isn't it? Uh, but that New Jet Order music, I listened to a bunch of tracks, and I listened to that one. I was like, no, that's the New Jet Order right there. That's menacing, and it has that kind of undertone the whole way through. I was like, yeah, it's disturbing. So that's the one I went with for the New Jet Order preview. I'll be watching that intro every video. I love that intro. I think it looks cool. It does give you goosebumps a little bit because I was getting goosebumps. I was going, yeah, this is awesome. Thanks, man. Hey, there's other videos you can watch. And to be honest, if you need to hold off, because I do a lot of spoilers for. I usually don't, and usually my reviews are safe because I know that's how I said I'd start off by not talking too much about what happens in the novel, just about my thoughts about it, and try to avoid spoilers when I can. But with New Jet Order, I got to talk about it. I've got to. It's one of my favorite stories. So. And I hate that. But I do love the series as a whole. Oh yeah, they're just unbelievable. I talk about them in one of the reviews a little bit more. Story about Depp. Well, I don't know what happened. I can't remember what happened to her right now. Hello, Cody. I'm doing excellent. How are you? Too dark. I understand that. I understand. Hey, you know what, Exalt? A lot of people back in the day thought that. I mean, shoot, a lot of people still do. I really liked it. Yeah, I'm going to go say it. I kind of thought that was hypocritical because everyone says, I love Empire. Empire's so cool. It's so dark. It's so awesome. And then the same people said, I hate New Jet Order. It's too dark. Dude, you just said Empire's your favorite movie because you like it. I don't know. I feel that was hypocritical. But if you don't like it, that's fine. That's fine. Doesn't bother me. What bothers me when people say I skipped the Bantam era. That's what bothers me. Oh, definitely. Definitely we need one. And I agree. And a lot of that stuff is the children's novels, right? The children's novels do not get reprints. And I want to talk, maybe when we get to Chris later on, I want to do an idea I had for the website, but I'm just too stupid or lazy to put it together, is I wanted to have an area where you could post things like bounty hunters, like, here's what I'm looking for. If anyone can find a copy of Junior J Knight's book number 4, let me know. I'm interested. Because I'll be honest, I come across that stuff every once in a while. The only stuff I automatically buy is the omnibuses from Science Fiction Book Club. And I gave them all away, gave them to a friend of mine. But I'll collect those because I know those are hard. Some of those are hard to find, those 3-in-1 hardbacks. And anytime I find one, I'll get one. But I am starting to go in the children's section now of used bookstores. And I am finding a few Jedi Apprentice, Jedi Quest, Last Jedi, the Jude Watson short stories. I'm finding a few Rebellion, children's books. And then even last month, I came across a few, not a complete collection, but a few of Junior J Knights, which I was like, that's interesting. But I don't know who needs them. I know there's people out there, but and maybe I should start looking up and start doing better. The one that I regret not picking up was a $12 copy of the entire series of Galaxy of Fear. I put it back down. I was like, I already have this. But I was thinking, man, that was so stupid because there's someone else who would love to have a complete set of Galaxy of Fear novels. They don't reprint those, and I'm sure they're hard to find. And it was like $12, I remember, or whatever many. How many issues are in Galaxy of Fear? Oh, let's see. Is it 10? No, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think there's 10. So it's 10. It was like $1 a book. So maybe like 10 books. I should have picked it up. Yes. Oh, everyone said yes. Sorry. Very late on answering your question. Totally cool. Oh, does it? Which one, Tyler? All the Japanese art covers too? Have you now? Oh, well, I'll have to check those out. Oh, y'all are answering these questions. Issue 74. Okay. Okay. Is this your channel? Your name? Hold on. Da, 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 da. Doggone it. I can't find it. You can't put links in the video, but let me know. Well, I guess I could just put, that's stupid. I could put Star Wars New Jedi Order and then filter from upload date. Oh my gosh. I guess I should have put Vector Prime. Let me put Vector Prime in there. All right, let's see. Upload date. Space Cowboys. Oh, there you are. Boom. Boom. And this man has 134. Uh-oh. He just got his 135th subscriber. Me. Go subscribe to him. He's reviewing the new Jedi Order. He's probably doing a better job than me. Cody, I will answer that question very quickly by next week on my channel. I'm gonna review them. If you can't wait, let me know. But I'd like you to wait to see the review. If you can't wait, I'll tell you though. Or if you don't want to wait, well, I'll hold up on that. I liked them. I liked them. I can't wait to review those. Oh yeah, I love what they do with Kip. Love what they do with Kip. Oh, look at the. Oh, thanks, Exalt. Well, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Let me ask you something. Someone asked me, and Exalt, I need to know this. I don't know. What does dual canon mean? I don't know. Someone asked me that on the Q&A, and I didn't know what dual canon. Do I support dual canon? I don't know what that means. Is it dual canon is like mixing both canons? Or both, or is it, or both of them are, you consider both canon, the new and the old? I just don't know. I've heard that before. I just don't know what it means. You saw it? Pretty good, huh? I enjoyed it at least. What are my thoughts on the 1988 Willow film being compatible with Star Wars? No. I like the Willow film, though. I really do. I think it's really good. Yeah, I think, help them out, because to be honest, when you go to those used bookstores, I'm almost positive I could get those. And it's not a complete. If it was a complete set of Junior Jedi Knights, I would have picked up in a heartbeat. But it's like books 3 and 5 or something, something random like that. But I'm thinking, well, maybe someone's missing issues 3 or books 3 and 5, or I'm trying to think, Jedi Apprentice number 7. Maybe someone needs that, and that would be a nice thing to do. So I just need to get someone else to help me on the website to put that together. I would like that. I think that'd be nice, because then we could all, you be fair and you say, hey, I got it for $2. Will you pay the $2 plus shipping? I think everyone would do that. I think it'd be a nice way to help each other out. You're not trying to get rich or on anyone. And to be honest, I used to, and I will again. I travel a lot, and I definitely look up, those children's books and stuff, and any hardback novels and stuff like that I can come across if I see people still need it. I think that'd be cool to say, hey, and by the way, you need to update it, because if you're still looking if you've already found it, you need to take it down. But it'd be neat, because I think I'd pick up that for a couple of bucks and send it to someone for that cost, what I paid for it. Oh, get out of here. Okay. All right. I'll go pick them up next time. I'm going there next month. I think I'm traveling next month. I'll start looking. I'll start picking up Junior Jedi Knights and stuff. We'll see. Raffle it away. That I can't tell you. I mean eBay, but even then, this matters. He's one of the best EU villains, and glad the current canon is showing some. Yeah, I heard he's in the current canon. I think he's very interesting for the Marvel universe. I thought he was good. Not much is done with cyborgs and stuff in the Marvel. I mean, in the expanding universe. But Valance is a fun character, and yeah, I after what happened is after 108, they decided that they liked the character so much that they were going to do more with him. That they all want Marvel decided they want to do more with him and bring him back. There you go. Okay. The entire Fury collection regularly sells for $7. Oh, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I should have picked it up. It's like $1 a book. But I remember this was years ago, though. This was years ago. This is like 6 years ago or something. I was like, I don't need that. I put it back down. I said, I don't need. I said, that's cool. I don't need it. And I'll be honest. I mean, if I ever make it back, I go through that town all the time. Maybe I should just stop back. I know where that store is. Who knows? Maybe they haven't sold it. See, a lot of those people, that's what I'm saying. A lot of those old bookstores, they think it's just a stupid Star Wars children's novel, throw it in the back. And so I find a lot of stuff that way. But I'll start looking. I'll start looking, seeing what we can do to help you guys out. I'll find several copies of KOTOR Volume 1. I'll burn it right in front of you. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Would I want to have replicants of myself? No. Oh, cool. They did they hosted a Q&A about having a Star Wars related channel. Nice. I've heard of them before. And I think that's pretty cheap to find, right? How do you know? How do you know? You don't know. People may say, I'm done with this guy. Let's go with the Alex dude. He's entertaining. He knows what he's talking about there. I did just to kind, and I do this a lot. I'll just randomly look on YouTube and watch a few videos and get some information. So I like to hear what other people think too. What other people thought about it. A lot of those videos came out back when the book came out too. They're old videos, but it's fun to watch people's reaction to it. Oh, all right, that's fine. I mean, I don't care about. Oh wait, means separating universes. Hold on. That you support and hope to continue Legends in current continuity. Oh yeah, I mean that's fine. Like I said, I mean I'm fine with that. I don't have anything against the new continuity. I have zero interest in it. But I've said this before. I definitely don't want Star Wars to die. I definitely don't. If the Star Wars dies as a franchise, then there's no way I'm going to get new Legends stuff, right? you know, even though I'm not a fan of the new stuff. I've said this from the very beginning. I don't hate anyone that does. I mean, shoot, that's why Prince of the Universe, the whole podcast got started, because Bruce and I just thought it was funny that the internet thought that you're either you or your new canon, and you can't love both. I'm like, well, you don't have to love both. How's that? And you can still be friends. Like I wasn't going to watch the new movies. And I told Bruce, he's like, oh, okay. You're not going to watch them? I was like, no. He's like, no, okay. I am. I was like, no, okay. I mean, I didn't say, oh, you traitor to the EU. I didn't say anything like that. He didn't say, oh, be a big baby about it then. He didn't say anything like that. And so I said, hey, have you looked online? People are really upset about that, about EU fans who said, I'm not watching the movies. Oh, you're awful. You're awful. But Bruce's like, really? I said, yeah. Get called lots of names just because I said I'm not interested in the new canon. Oh man, those old Glove of Darth Vader ones, those got printed in hardback too. Get out of here. Oh no, I didn't know that. Is that why Bantam lost the contract? Boop, 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 boop. You, my son. I remember that. That was fun, man. Oh, that was on a Nightcap too. That was so much fun. Oh, really? Yeah. I know some of these books go for like 80, 120 bucks or something. Like one of them, The Last of the Jedi hardback omnibus, goes for stupid money. Oh, no, here it is. Coruscant Nights, I think. Is it that one? Or it's The Last Jedi hardback that's over there? Go for stupid money. I was like, why? Those stories aren't that good. The reason they cost so much, everyone threw them away. uh, oh, that's fine. It's worth the read, though. I doubt I'll find that, but I'll look for it. I'll sell it to the highest bidder. We'll have a big fight over that one. 108. If you saw my review, it really 107. I was kind of like, well, I hate that Mary Jo Johnson got cut short because it doesn't make for a good ending. But 108, they did a great job. They did a great job, I thought, for it. Oh man, I had to buy new editing software too, and I was pissed. And then I bought it. I should have upgraded a long time ago. How many years did I have that? It's been, well, it's only been 2 years, but they came out with an updated system, and the rendering on it takes half the time than rendering other videos. I mean, when I looked at it, I thought I did something wrong because it was like speeding through rendering. I was like, oh no, did I increase? I thought I increased the play speed. And I was like, what did I do? I gotta redo this again. I was getting pissed. And I played it. It was regular speed. I went, that's odd. I rendered another video and it was speeding through it again. I was like, shut up. The rendering, they sped up the rendering on this. So the program works a lot better. So, hey, money well worth it. Yeah, I know some people that feel that way. You know what? My buddy Bruce, who does the podcast with me, Lost Stars is one of his favorites still today. Lost Stars, Thrawn, and is it Battlegrounds? I don't remember, but I remember him saying those were his three. Ah, John, you crack me up, man. Crack me up. How are you, sir? Hope you're doing well. That's one old viewer who's been watching me for a while. All right, anyway, here we go. Yeah, yeah, and that's fine. I mean, heck, you enjoy Star Wars the way you enjoy Star Wars, right? I mean, everyone, and it's fun. You can enjoy any portion of it. I've always said that. And some people feel that way too. Phew. Hey, Scandals Cantina. Scandals Cantina, I need to have you guys on. I know you're the bigger channel by leagues. You're the bigger channel, but I really do like you guys. You guys are really nice, and I don't know, maybe we can talk and meet up and everything. But thanks for stopping in, man. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Oh, really? Shoot. You need to give me some tips. There's I got Vegas Pro, I think the 17 or whatever, and I think I had like 15 or whatever. And can I say whatever after every sentence here? And it's just night and day. It's so nice. And I start off with 13, but I swear if I made the time, I could learn more. And Fred Khalil, who does my music, was the guy who showed me Vegas Pro, and I got a copy, I think from him at first. And he gave me one of his older copies and showed me how to use it. And then ever since then, I've just been buying the updates. Well, just 2 updates since then. And he showed me a few things, and I know how to do that, but I never studied anything else. Like for a short time, I looked at a few other things. And for me, I don't know. It's kind of weird. It's reading how to do things or figuring out, I'm very bad at. But if someone will just sit over me and show me, like, and Fred keeps talking like he's been offered to come over and kind of help me do some more editing tips and stuff. But he wants to know what I want to do. I said, dude, anything. I want to learn how to do this stuff. So, you know, but that's cool that you do that. Hey, awesome. Hey, it's got always fun to have Ewok stuff, right? Always fun. Oh, okay. All right. Hey, I think I reached out to you on Skype, by the way. It's been a while, but I had to get a new laptop. But we'll talk soon, brother. Yeah, they won. Oh, it was in 2007. That was probably the last time we had a good victory, too. It sucked. It sucked for 2020. I'm so pissed. So pissed. And my football season is going to be just as bad. I think I've answered this before, but it's got to be the Dark Strider campaign. Absolutely love. I've never played a single one, but the Dungeon Master, the DM for role playing, who did Star Wars role playing back when I was fresh out of college, is back, and he is not opposed to getting a group and for us to start playing. I want to, but when am I going to find the time between doing all the videos and the other board games I play and reading and all my extracurricular activities? When am I going to find time to play a role playing game, it takes up your time? I want to. I definitely want to, and not that I'd strike it out of the ruling altogether, but I definitely love to get back or get started playing role playing games. I have played before with Brian from Twin Sons Foundation. It's really awesome. That group was very kind to let me in. No, I don't. I don't. And I'd love to know what is. Oh, that's awesome. I don't have a Discord because I'm old. Do you have Ryan? If you have Ryan Kennel's information, just ask Ryan. Ryan has my information. He can share whatever with you. I know you know Ryan Kennel, so he has all my information. And just tell him I don't know. I just tell him you need it. I'll give it. I mean, just tell him I told you about it. He'll give it to you. If you need to reach out to me. That's awesome, though. That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Have you guys on the channel. Is there more than one of you? Or is there just one of you? I don't know. I think there's more than one that contribute to Scoundrels Cantina, if I remember. That's fair. I thought, well, see, I was putting up all the Ewoks. Here's how the story goes for that first video. I was putting up all the Ewoks, and then I saw Gizmo, and I was like, why not? I showed him up there. Well, then later on the editing, I went, oh, wait, I have his song. Why don't I just go ahead and play it? That's pretty funny. I actually retaped it to where I go, what? Hey, man, I'm telling you what, my acting, pretty good, right? Because there's no music going on. That's all sound edited in. I'm telling you what, I'm a pro. I was like, huh? I was doing it with nothing in there, but my wife was impressed when she saw the opening scene. She went, that's pretty good. I said, thank you. It took me forever. I'm going to go over that when I'm finished reviewing them all. I'm going to go through all that. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We'll get together. I mean it too. I mean it too. To do it. You guys are awesome too. Or you are awesome. Just one of you. Yeah, I remember that. So yeah, Ryan has my contact information. Yes and no. I watched the movie, and the new series that came out, I watched it too. I thought it was missed opportunities. I'm not the biggest Dark Crystal fan, but I thought it was missed opportunities. Come on. Come on. Han. Two of us. Okay, I knew it was. Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, that you're really good at. I remember. I remember it being two, or yeah, more than one. I remember. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. I do. Yeah, it's been awesome. There's a it's not it's kind of a small little thing, but I can't remember how many subscribers short. There's someone who influenced a channel that influenced me that stopped doing EU reviews. And I begged and begged, and they didn't want to do it. They wanted to focus on the new canon. Now I don't think they do that. But I was like, man, I wish they do those. And so now I started doing them. Well, my channel is about 100 shy, hundreds of subs, and he was way far ahead of me in subs back in the day. And I can't believe I'm that close. Will I eclipse the person who influenced me to do all these reviews? That would be kind of funny, I think. So I'm keeping, because like I said, I've been catching up with him lately, but falling behind a little bit, then catching up, then falling behind. It's interesting. Will I catch up with him? Will I eclipse him? If eventually, maybe. With people like LJ Rodriguez on my side, we can do it. Well, I've looked at, I don't look, and I need to do this. I'm just terrible because I don't, it's not about being famous or making money on YouTube for me. It's just doing fun stuff like board. That's why I do board games still. I mean, a lot of people don't watch them, but I love board games and I love Star Wars. So I can talk about this, and I'm very thankful for everyone who watched the channel. But I found out that 60% of people who watch my channel don't subscribe. I was like, whoa. Yeah. I guess they just want to search me every day. I don't know. I mean, some people just don't want to subscribe, and that's fine. But I just thought I found that interesting. I never look at that kind of stuff. You use Excel to keep track of all your books. That's smart. Oh yeah, I do. My play got canceled, and I'm going to be directing Christmas Carol this year, directing something for the Strauss, and then I won't do any acting till next year. I do one play a year usually, and it's going to be Who's Wiser Than Anyway. I really hope I don't have to do Legally Blonde. They're doing Legally Blonde, and if guys don't show up, I may have to jump into that, but I don't want to. I'm fine. I mean, I'm fine doing it, but I'm not going to go audition unless they really need me. But Who's Wiser Than Anyway is the next one I'm probably going to do. The show the only time I was ever a lead, the show got canceled right as COVID started, and they're not bringing it back now. They're going to the set is done, the costumes are done, the pieces, the props, everything is done, and they want to trash it all. They don't want to save it. I thought, well, we'll do it later, right? We'll do. No, we're done. I was like, oh, okay. So I'll never star in one, which is fine because I never wanted to star in one, but that was the one show I said if I could star in, that'd be it. But yeah, I do that. And then I had to turn down a commercial just recently. I usually show you all the commercials I'm in, and I haven't shown any lately. That's because they don't post them on YouTube. But I've done a few commercials in the last year. I did a ton. And so they had to chill on me for this year, except for one group. One group was going to have me do an Arkansas commercial because I already did one for them. They're going to do another one. As long as it's not local. They can't have the same guy hawking different products is the thing. And that makes sense. You can't have the same actor like, in every single local commercial. And the one that they took me in for, I couldn't do. It was a conflict of interest to my job. So I told him that afterwards. I hated that I had to turn that one down because it seemed like fun, but he said he'd get me to another one later on. It's fine because they don't, like I said, you can't use, if I get used a lot one year, I'm not going to be used at all unless it's an out-of-state commercial. In 2018, the only thing I ever did was a commercial that aired in Jackson, Mississippi. And it was funny because I had friends in Mississippi going, "Hey, there's a guy on TV." I said, "That's me." And I went, "I was going to say, he looks just like it." That's me. I said, "For the air conditioning. Am I shirtless?" And he goes, "Yeah." I said, "That's me." We did that commercial. He's like, "Are you in Jackson now?" I said, "No, they just film them out of state." And then I did one for Arkansas 2 years ago. And so in 2019, I could do local once again because my commercials, some of the old commercials still get play. And then after that, they're all local. This is not anything big. I don't have delusions of grandeur, by the way. But probably in 2021, I'll get to do some more. But the one I was going to do was going to be local. But like I said, the particular business was a conflict of interest to who I work for, and I probably couldn't do it. That's the second job I've ever turned down. One was going to be pretty big. It was a pretty big contract. It was going to be ongoing commercials, and it was going to be regional in different regions across the U.S., like Billboard and stuff like that. And they were looking for like a flow from, got Progressive or something. They were thinking something like that. And I said, I can't. And one of the things I can't do, I can't be the poster kid or mascot for another business. Not when I work for another business. I can't be the mascot for a business I can't work for, or not mascot, but spokesperson. I can't do that. And like I said, and they were fine with that because they had some other people in mind. But they were talking to me about it. But when I found out what it was, I was like, I can't do that, guys. So there's a few things I can't do. Too bad. There you go. Good job. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, Michael. You do. Hey, Michael, feel free to stop by anytime, but let me know ahead of time so I'll have my mom make jambalaya. I swear, if YouTube was something we could all be around together, I'd feed you all jambalaya. I honestly think it's just so fun. No, not in my universe. Yeah, their channel, Chris knows what I'm talking about. Hey, Chris. Their channel is at 5.62. Mine's at 5.5, 5.51. I don't know. I haven't looked at it in a while. But anyway, yeah, that was my personal goal, to beat those people. The circle would be complete. Yes, it would. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you to say. Yeah. Hey, Tony. How's it going, man? Hey, Johnny, I'm doing good. How are you? Was it mentioned in Shaz the Empire? It could be. It could have been. I'm not sure. No. There's better actors out there, trust me. I'm a big fish in a small pond. No delusions of grandeur. Well, thank you, but like I said, it's not that important. It's nice. It's a great compliment to have so many subscribers, but it's not like, oh, maybe I can quit my job and be YouTube full time. That's not for me, because I love my job, what I have here, and I'm very thankful for everyone who does subscribe. That means a lot. It means that you're interested in the content and you're enjoying it. And That's what I'm happy with. I'm really happy with that. Yes, it is available online. That's true. Chris made it. So that's what I told him, Chris, earlier. Chris, you want to come on, you can. I just saw this last night, and I got to be honest, I don't think it's that good. It was a missed opportunity. It wasn't that funny. I was expecting it to be good, but one's holding a baseball bat, one's holding a cricket paddle, because, you know, Patrick Stewart's from the UK, but I am my father. Wait, what? And I'm like, I think there just should have been funnier things to said about that. No, I didn't get any of the miniature scenarios. I do not have. I purposely skipped over all that. I purposely skipped even that there was some miniature stuff for West End Games too, right? I purposely skipped over that. That'll never happen. Get Matt Wilkins to 5.63. For him it's still, so maybe I was right. Maybe it is that Dig magazine. You go to Gen Con, you know, I'm part of a group. Oh wow, awesome.
Hey,
I'm so happy. Hair. How come your hair looks better than mine?
I don't know.
Like it's just look, I look like Bozo the Clown when I'm look at that. That's Pippi Longstocking, circa 1981 or something.
It's getting wild. That was the first thing I thought when I saw the Vector Prime video today. I wasn't like, finally NJO. I was like, man, look at Matt's hair. It's looking awesome. So
this guy needs a cut. Anyway, Michael, I would love to visit Gen Con again. You know, some of the authors, Star Wars authors. I saw Terry Brooks. I spoke to Dave Wolverton twice, back-to-back years. And Dave Wolverton's, he's there all the time. I think he does a writing session, and I need to go ahead and just take it. Not because I want to learn how to write, even though that would be cool. I just want to, I could listen to the Dave Wolverton talk forever. I mean, honestly, out of all the, and I'm going to do a video on this too about EU authors I spoke with, but I've all on the expanduniverse.com. But of all the EU authors I spoke with, it's got to be Dave Wolverton. He is so insightful. He's so kind and generous with his time. And he talks about the business as well. And he's just, and Chris, I think I told you this, when this is back before Chuck Wendig's book had come out, but he was talking about how the newer authors get too wound up online about what people say about them. And he said, and it's just ridiculous. And that's when he told me the story that someone wrote an email to him a long time ago saying your book sucked and here's why. And then he was writing him back, cussing him on an email. And then Dave Wolverton, before he hit send, went, what am I doing? Yeah. I'm a best-selling author.
Right.
Why do I care about what he thinks? You know,
right.
He's one person.
Yeah, the good old days, everything's changed, right? I think the fandom as well as the authors and just everything about, it's not a Star Wars thing. It's like a fandom thing. It's a technology thing, social media. We're all addicted to this. We need this. It's sad, you know? And it's one of the things that made some of the EU stuff so great, precisely because people could just write it in this sort of fun vacuum for all of us. They knew most of us would appreciate it for what it was. I always had really good interactions with Drew Karpyshyn in person, actually. He's really good. Did you ever
I've never spoken to him?
I met him first when I'm drawing a blank. The first book he wrote. What was it? Path of Destruction. Path of Destruction. Yeah, and it was so exciting. I think I've talked about this in a video before. It was like a weird time, right? Like a year after Revenge of the Sith. Like as far as we know, this is sort of it. It's up to the EU now to continue the story forever. And it came at the right time. Great book, right time. He was super cool about it. I saw him at a book talk, and he excited everyone there, you know, about like basically stick with the franchise. Like now it's up to us, and we're gonna go to some really cool places. That was really neat. Really cool guy.
Yeah, no, and a lot of the authors are really nice. They're really friendly to talk to. I hear Troy Denning can be kind of a jerk, but he wasn't to me. And I really enjoyed my conversation with Troy Denning. But who else? Kevin Janderson several times. But he's kind of all over the place.
Denning's just really political online. He's another guy who just sends for such a prolific author, spends way too much time on Twitter,
And he blocked a bunch of people for no reason, because Joe told me he blocked him and a few others. And I was like, really? I said, for what? He went, for nothing. I was like, that's so weird, because when I talked to him, he seemed normal. I mean, it's weird. I mean, I guess I it's not like I was, saying something. We weren't talking politics either, but when I was talking to him, he was so kind. I thought we had a great conversation. And there's another viewer who met me for the first time. He was actually in line behind me. I thought he wanted to meet Troy Denning, and he wanted to meet me. I said, I don't know why you want to meet me. Troy Denning's behind me. You need to talk to that dude first. I'll wait.
That's awesome.
But he was there, and it's so awesome, because I'll talk to him every once in a while. Say, okay, I don't want to lie, but didn't Troy Denning say? He went, I don't know, man. I was just so excited to see you. I said, but Troy Denning was there. Cares about me.
Yeah.
And but he had told me the whole Anzadi storyline. I mean, I was just sitting there going, where's a pen and paper? I need to get a pen and paper. I was like the guy from Memento. I was like, remember. I was almost tattooing it off my body. Because, I mean, he was just spilling out one thing after another, and I know I didn't get it all.
Oh, man.
I mean, because we still had to go around to all the other things in the con, and the whole time I'm kind of repeating the story in my head. I'm repeating the story in my head, but I didn't have a pen and paper. I was like, why don't I have a pen and paper to write this down? So I'm sure I dropped a few things at the end of the day after we ate. We got home. I started writing down when we got back to the room. I started writing down everything I could remember. I was like, I'm probably forgetting some stuff.
Gosh, that's still the stuff you've remembered from that. I've heard you talk about, and it's really, really great to know about. Just to know that, that's quasi canon to me, right?
It's wild that they went into a room at a convention and just sat there in an empty room, and they just talked about what the next story, the big story arc, would be. Are you kidding me? I would love to be in those conversations and love to hear and I love to hear how their minds work and see each one of these. And I mean, Troy Denning knows his Star Wars. Yeah. The man knows West End game stuff. He knows the lore. He's read the books, and that's the big thing. These authors cared. In fact, I got to go back, folks. Go to the website, read this interview from Ninja Order, the round robin table. Round robin interview. It is unbelievable, because Sue Rustoni is talking about, we knew they were thinking for a while. Del Rey says, do we even connect stuff to Bantam? Because that's not us. We don't want people reading our books and going, oh, I need to go buy that Bantam novel to understand what's going on. And then they thought, no, we need and Sue Rustoni, I believe, is the one that said this. We knew that it would be disrespectful to the fans not to honor all the dedication they had spent and hours they had spent reading the books that came before. So we wanted to respect our fan. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a complete 180 from what the story group is saying right now. It's night and day to believe that people. I mean, Sue Rustoni and all of them were caring about what the fans thought and what would be the best, and they really wanted to do the best. They were upset that they were disappointed some fans didn't like the New Jedi Order, and all of them, even though I would say no regrets, they even said, yeah, we probably went too dark, or yeah, we probably went a little too overboard, and I was like, no, don't listen to those haters.
You have always made one of the most insightful points about the EU I really ever heard, which is that as Bantam evolved into Del Rey, right? We, as the fans, went from our teens, 20s, into it matured with us, right? And it didn't get dark as much as it got more sophisticated, and like life is tough sometimes, right? And we grew up with it, and the books got more mature as we did too, which I think is really the best way to appreciate it. The authors got better, they got stronger, they evolved in their confidence in the storylines, et cetera, et cetera. So, by the way, Rogers, that's great.
More connections started forming rather than, hey, in Bantam it was, hey, remember when this happened? Okay, now we've connected, let's move on. That's basically the only thing you were lucky to get. Yes, every once in a while, stories did go back to other stories, like Carillion Trilogy. went back to Truce of Bakura, which I thought was surprising, but you didn't have that happen as much. But when it did, we as fans were excited to see that. And publication wise, even those stories came out later. So Del Rey just ups the game. And and this is what I hate about it, because I've said this a million times, but the lack of creativity, people say, oh, well, trying to build off someone else's story, that's not being creative. Actually, you have to be very creative to continue the story, and not only continue it, but make it more interesting and better. I equivalent it to a TV show. It's impressive if you can keep your hype all the way to the end. There's a reason they lose, a lot of TV shows lose their traction after 6 or 7 seasons, because the writers have no idea what to do after then. Then you start seeing the story drag or get repetitive or kind of get off base. But if the writing's there, you can have solids. I mean, there's a reason I never watched Bonanza, but there's no way that show lasts 30 seasons unless the writers knew what they were doing. I'm sure big Bonanza fans would tell me, oh, man, they got some great stories. Season 22 was awesome. Okay. I mean, maybe it was. But the thing is, though, you also had good writing back then, too. A lot of shows didn't last that long, ever. There's a reason the Simpsons have been around for years. They keep with the times. They keep funny. They keep up with the funny. We used to laugh at them back in 1989.
Yeah.
Now those TV episodes aren't that funny when you think about it. It's Homer getting mad at Bart and strangling him every episode.
I still can't believe it. I think I had like a Bartman T-shirt like in 1990 or something. I can't believe it. And it's amazing, something like that. They've never needed to, introduce a new sibling or whatever. It's the same premise. It's just that they make interesting scenarios for interesting characters, right? Yeah.
And they get better. And so that's the thing. You just need to have the writers staying fresh, and that's what they did. That's what the EU did. They came up with new ideas. They progressed the storyline. These characters did age, and the stories got, in my opinion, better and better. And they really did. If you read things in chronological order, I think you're doing yourself as a good service there, because I think the story does climb up. There are points where it peaks and maybe drops a little bit, but other than that, it's still higher than what's come before it. And that's how a story should go. Yeah. Publication-wise, it should get better and better and better. Yeah. And Del Rey was doing a great job. I would love what they would have seen going forward. I think we would have seen some awesome stuff.
Gosh, I would have loved a series of Tales books by Del Rey to set in some of the different areas they were able to explore. Anyway.
Oh yeah, no. I talked to Kevin J. Anderson about that, about more Tales novels in different eras. He went, well, you have to understand, Del Rey's the one that has to give. I said, I know. I'm just saying, what other ideas would you? Well, I mean, it doesn't matter what ideas. Del Rey's the one that has to tell me when they want. No, he's aggravating. Sometimes I don't think he understands proper English. Answer somebody. I'm a Met fan.
I'm Magnino, Alex, too. Thanks for the compliment. I appreciate it. Yeah, I've always been amazed over the last couple of years. Every time someone asks an old EU author something like, hey, like, what did you think about the decanonization, right? Like, what would you be interested in continuing the story? They never simply say, hey, what happens, but yeah, I would love, this is how I would continue it. I love the EU, blah, blah, blah. Instead, it's always like, oh, no, it's Disney's to do with whatever they want. It's like, of course, we're not arguing that.
No, we're not. Yeah, exactly.
And you never get a straight answer out of them,
And they don't listen. They don't. Well, look, we put Thrawn in the new canon. We may put someone else in the new canon. I don't want that. I want the old canon continued. I don't want your. And the thing is, well, we can't stop our canon. New canon is here to stay. I didn't say that either.
Right.
I didn't say abolish the sequels.
Right.
And bring back my legends. I just said continue the legend story. We say that verbatim. Look at this. Tony's like, Chris, I know, right? Chris, take a picture. It's like Bigfoot. If you take a picture, it'll just be blurry though on the screen. They'll never believe you. What I think about the bat, there's a bat fleck coming to HBO Max. I don't know anything about that.
Me either.
I love Batman, but I didn't know anything about that. Oh, did you see the Uber Eats commercial with Mark Hamill?
I've just heard about it. I haven't seen it.
It wasn't that good.
That's great.
His wife gave me a bowl cut. Let me grow it out. My wife likes she wants me to keep growing it out, but it's just going to grow out like Bozo the Clown, like sideways and curl. So it's not going to be prettier. Hey, Tim. I haven't seen Tim in forever, man. How you doing? Let's take a second. Let me see. That's because Chris is here. That's why. Look at all this. It's love.
You know, speaking of the Big Lebowski reference, I love that. That's great. Thanks, man. That's so great. When I was at Celebration 5, like 2010, I think it was, there was an artist there, and I wish I could track him down. So if anyone out here knows, please let me know. He made this really cool sticker, and I grabbed a couple of copies. I've lost them since. It was like a mix of the Big Lebowski and Qui-Gon. And it was like Jedi Abides. It was so cool, and I've lost them. But I don't even remember the artist. So if anyone does, please let me know.
The Qui-Gon is the dude.
That's awesome. He's like in like a robe, you know, or like a, you know, like his you know, morning robe or whatever. It's great. Yeah.
Wow. Throwing the prequels, but Disney game probably contradicts the EU. It does. I mean, even Timothy Zahn said it wasn't. It wasn't, you know, with the old canon. The new Thrawn is different. He designed it to be a little bit different. Tim, I'm totally up for that. Totally up for that. Let me know when. Let me know when. As long as they have good writers, yeah, and they can have good writers. That's the thing. I think in the right hands, you could have someone take care of the Legends content. We need to be positive about this. I was really, really shocked by people just kind of dumping on issue 108, because here we have been asking for anything new. We get something new, and then you want to complain about it. And to be honest, I would complain about 108 if I thought it was bad. I would tell you if it was bad. Remember, I love the EU, but I'm not going to sit here blindly and tell you that every story from it is awesome. I mean, my first review, I probably shot the world when I said Dawn of the Jedi sucks. But you're the EU guy, yeah, but I'll tell you when something sucks. And I thought 108 was wonderful. I called Chris, actually. The day I got it, I called him. I said, I had to call someone because I was giddy. I was excited. I went to the comic book store and picked up a new Star Wars comic book, and it felt good. And after I read it, I think I talked to you again, because you had finished it and we'd read it and we kind of discussed it, and we were just, I was so impressed. My expectations were medium, you know, low. They weren't high, and he well exceeded even a high expectation. He exceeded by even doing that. We talked about it. What was it? He resolved that contradiction.
That's right.
About the name for the New Republic in the comic book. I can't remember what it was called.
Like the Alliance of the
whatever. And then he said, yeah, but and then Han just says, yeah, we just call ourselves the New Republic now. It's a lot simpler. And I was like, that I didn't even think about that being a contradiction or something lingering out there. And it was, and he fixed that. And if you saw the interview with Matthew Rosenberg, folks, yeah, they are fans of the EU. They're fans of the EU. And you couldn't want more than that. I was just really impressed by that. And to answer Da Penguin's question, yeah, if more and more people, if we just keep growing and more people are just interested in the expanding universe, why not? They put a pause on movies. Why not? They've got a billboard that's still out there right now. It's been up there since March, and it's still up.
Amazing, yeah.
And it's sitting right out there in front yard. In fact, I would not doubt that this is why Kathleen Kennedy has even changed her mind on, oh yeah, we do have resources. We do have source book. We do have source books. We do have comic books. Why didn't you do a 180 on that? Because there's a friggin' billboard in her own backyard about people asking for more expanded universe. And honestly, if you see that and it's up there for so long, I do think you start saying, well, maybe we need to cater. Watch, you're going to, I think sometimes when you hear people catering to Legends, when you hear what's his name, I don't know who's directing The Mandalorian. I can't remember. Favreau. When you see him making, nods over to the expanded universe people saying, we're trying to do this, we're trying to fix this. And yeah, because he knows there's a big billboard in front of Lucasfilm right now. I mean, they all do, and so they all know, but they just can't figure. I just need them to stop and listen. We don't want all these inclusions from Legends. We just want the story to be continued. Just allow, and to be honest, Del Rey will do more Legends. They would be happy to do a Legends book, folks. Happy. But they need permission by Lucasfilm to do it.
That's the thing. It's funny. I feel like for some reason over the last year or two, this has sort of been lost. And maybe it's that there's been like a huge influx of new people sort of just like interested in fighting for more Legends. But like, just to restate some facts, right? We know firsthand, right, that all of the licensees that matter, Del Rey, Marvel, Hasbro, we know firsthand based on conversations and everything, that they all want to do it. And moreover, that they know we are here and that they know the demand is strong and grows. So there's always these naysayers who say, oh, we got to do this, we got to do that, it's not going to happen. No, every single person who is involved in actually writing new EU stories wants to do it, right? And as Disney has proven, occasionally, they say yes, like with Marvel 108. So I mean, I personally now, I think it's going to be a while before we see a full-fledged continuation, but I wouldn't be surprised if in a couple of years there's something like an anniversary continuation of like Heir to the Empire, or even a short story or something, right? Look for the anniversaries, right? So again, just so everyone's clear, all of the key licensees absolutely want to do this. That is a fact, right? So
and that is a fact. That's been verified. Anyone will tell you that. Chris has talked to him. Brian talked to him at Celebration. They talked to him. I talked to, it's on the interview with Matthew Rosenberg. Right. Marvel would love to do more. They have to get permission from Lucasfilm. Lucasfilm is not granting permission for more Legend stories, but if they did, Marvel would gladly print them out. That is from Marvel.
Yep.
From the horse's mouth, not hearsay, not rumor. That is from the actual writer and the back staff, who are just all big EU fans. They want to do it, but Lucasfilm, and that's why other people are like, why don't we put a billboard up by Marvel and by Del Rey? But they're not the ones that make the decision. They're not the ones that make the decision. A long time ago, before we even thought about it, we did those Rebel raids on, Rebel raids and bomb Del Rey's email or their comments on Facebook, and we want more EU. We want more EU. Well, the thing was, they're like, guys, we'd love to do it, but we can't. We're not the ones who control what we do, can and can't write. And I was thinking, oh yeah, that's right. It's Lucasfilm. That's why the focus has been on Lucasfilm. Well, why don't we position Disney? Disney headquarters? They don't know. They say, go talk to the crazy people. Go talk to Kathleen Kennedy. Don't talk to us. We don't make those decisions. They let them run their own ships there. I mean, Bob Iger is technically over it all, but even Bob Iger is going to say, hey, hey, if you guys want that, go for it, But the thing is, though, I agree with Chris. It's one of those things you have to watch the anniversaries. You have to watch. Actually, when we're over, Chris, I have an idea to run by you. But I mean, there's tons of ideas and tons of things that I just see that if they see it enough, like the billboard is great. That it's been up there for months is awesome. That's a big win for us as money well spent. Okay, because they love it. And the one they got saved is the sarcastic one. We didn't have money to buy. We couldn't buy any new Legends, so we bought this billboard instead. Or something like that. It's great. I love that billboard. And that's the one that's up. It's just going to stick there and go. Here's our money. Where do we spend it? You tell us, What do we do? Well, Iger is kind of still in the shadow. I think he's still kind of helping out in an advisory role, but it is that other guy, Bob, whatever. You are correct, Tim. Thanks for correcting me there. But it's another one there. But, and here you go. Here's one. Chris, have you seen the animated Heir to the Empire?
Yeah, I've seen some of them. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I've seen some of it too.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
It's nice. And I'm a New Republic. I'm a New Rebellion fan. I'm also a fan of the Callistia trilogy, but I'm in the minority.
Well, Matt and I are from sort of the same generation of EU fandom, and we're both a little bit more, I think, Bantam oriented, actually. So, I have a button that I wear at cons that says it's a picture of Callista, and it just says, I forget what it's something like, before Mara, there was Callista. And we talked about on one of those More Civilized Age. I'm a big booster of New Rebellion, and particularly the author too. I mean, I think she could have played a much bigger role in the EU. It's a shame we didn't get to see it.
And originally she was.
That's right.
I mean, if they would have, that was one of the later books, and the plan was to include her more in the group of other people who were, Kevin G. Anderson was a regular, Michael Stackpole, Aaron Alston, and it was going to be Christian Catherine Rush on there too, who actually did a really good job. I enjoyed New Rebellion. It's hard to do a solo novel that can really hold your interest because we're so used to trilogies that build a storyline. In a solo novel, you have to have a beginning and end. I mean, Dave Wolverton did it fantastic. I enjoy Kathy Tyer's Truce of Bakura because it was different.
Yeah.
How tempting, I stand by my review, how tempting would it have been to just do another Empire story? I mean, you're one of the first of the new Bantam books. No one's going to blame you for it. But she said, no, I want to do something different. It's not, the Empire's not going to be the bad guy. They're going to be around, but they're not the villain. And that's a very bold move. I mean, later on, when we're like, we got to think of some other person but the Empire, then you have to go somewhere else. Kathy Tyers didn't have to go anywhere else. She could have just done the Empire again, and we would have read it and said, what a good story. But she went bold. She went in a different direction. Sister Rook a little weird, but, and even you're going to hear my review of Balance Point for New Jedi Order. It's going to be very favorable because I think she did a lot of the same things. She went in a different way, and I just really appreciate her style. So it's bold, it's brave. See, it must be the shampoo that we use because yours is so fluffy and bouncy, and mine's just so. I mean, I've got matty hair because I've been having a cap over it, but I mean, just goes out like it's just awful. And then I got this lion's mane here. It just fluffs, and it's just so weird. I feel like Nightwing from the 90s comic books who had the little mullet going in the back.
You and Nightwing these days at the t-shirt and this,
I know, got the t-shirt, sporting the t. I've had that t-shirt a couple of times. I don't know if I put it in a Star Wars video.
You have. I've commented on it before because I'm a big Dick Grayson Nightwing guy, Teen Titans and stuff.
Oh yeah, he's awesome. I remember when I saw the emblem, my wife goes, "Do you have this one?" Because we were looking through DC. I said, "I got them all," and I went, "What's that?" I said, "Get that one." The guy said, "I have to have." No, it was at the mall. And I was like, shut up, a Nightwing shirt. And I don't think anyone knew what it was because they were like 2 for 1 or whatever. And I bought the Nightwing and the Good Guy shirt that I wear every once in a while, the Chucky Good Guy shirt. I thought, well, I'll get that one. I couldn't find anything else I wanted. But I was like, oh, that Chucky shirt. I'll get the Chucky shirt. That's kind of funny. I'm not the biggest Chucky fan, but I was like, oh well, because it was buy one, get one. It's like buy one, get one for $5 or something. Yeah. Well, I may as well try to get one or something.
Did you ever watch the Titan show on the DC Universe app?
Yes, I thought it sucked.
I'm so confused. I don't know why they've sort of fundamentally written him to be like Jason Todd. It doesn't make any sense. Like he's this like bitter, violent.
Yeah. And then Jason Todd is in it. Right. And by the way, Jason Todd, and the thing is, they didn't have enough money. And so all the Titans don't have their superpowers, only for like 2 episodes in the entire season. And you're like, okay, if you couldn't afford it, do a Robin series. That'd have been interesting because Batman villains a lot of them don't really have superpowers. So you can avoid a bunch of CGI. You can have Robin fight. Robin's the only one getting in costume the whole time anyway. It's interesting when they're in costume, but they can't afford too many action scenes. They have to get them out of costume so many times. But Jason Todd was very interesting in the storyline. If it was focusing on Robin as Robin, that was interesting. Everything else, total garbage. I did wait till they turned him to Nightwing in the end of season 2, but I didn't even enjoy that because they teased it for a whole season.
Mm-hmm.
He burned his suit in season 1, and you thought, oh, great, season 2 will be the return of Nightwing at the very beginning. And then very quickly you said, oh no, it's gonna suck. It's gonna be bad, because so I hate when they waste opportunities like that, because again, if it just focused on Robin, it's great.
Would have been great.
Yeah. I think you answered this question, Tim, but you are right. It was Shira Bree.
I got to jump in. Scott is absolutely right about the old Decipher card community. It's still incredibly active, and yeah, and it's all EU. I mean, there's a lot of really, really good EU stuff happening there. It's definitely a neglected part of the fandom, I think.
Is that the one from the late 90s?
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, but it extended for a couple of years, though. I mean,
it extended all the way up to episode 1.
That's right.
The last expansion.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. I have a buddy of mine, Scott. He has the entire set. He has one entire set of the Star Wars. I mean, just it's very impressive. He used to buy them by the cases back in the day.
Yeah.
And he said he and a buddy went through, and he has one complete set and one that was close. And I was like, shut up. So that's I never played it. Did you play the collectible card game?
Never played it, but I have a bunch of them just because, interestingly, there's some stuff that from the EU that like originates in the images there, right? So you need some of them in some ways, right? So there's a guy on Twitter. God, I wish I remembered his handle, but you can just like look for it, like, Star Wars CGC, and he's like trying to almost create like a museum, like an online Twitter museum around all this stuff. And based on a couple of like things he said, I think he lives right next to Jeremy, Stupid Chainsaw Productions. It almost makes me think it's him secretly or something, but I hope they know one another, because this guy is like, just like Scott says, he's all into this. He's trying to promote it, but also to promote the continuation of the EU. Because again, there's still an active community who's playing this game.
Wow. Thoughts on the Dark Nest trilogy? I liked it. Can't wait to review it. And then I knew that the later sets, it's the episode 1 stuff that's expensive, right? Because that was when the collectible card scene for Star Wars started dying out. If I recall, that was the last part, because he said that was the one that he bought a ton of when it first came out, and he barely has a full set of that, if I recall. Because he said he got out of it too back then. But I think it was the episode 1 was the last expansion that they did for those. I used to sell those. I used to work at a card shop back in the late 90s. And we used to sell those cards. And my brother got into them, and a few of my friends got into them. But any collectible card game, I was not into. And that was when Magic, Magic came out in '93, and then everyone started making collectible card versions.
Oh man,
Highlander had one. I have to mention that because you're here. But Star Wars had one. I mean, everyone had one. Every genre
one. I mean, there's a Simpsons, there's an X-Files one. It was just a crazy number of them. I hate card games as it happens. I hate rules.
Yeah.
I don't want to. So I just didn't get into that. But I remember when Magic came out in my school, there was immediately like someone formed like a club, right?
Oh,
and I was like, not for me. Meanwhile, I look back and I'm like, why didn't I buy a couple of those packs? I'd be a billionaire today. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. Like all those old packs. And the thing is, we used to sell those old packs too. And back in the day, mid 90s, those old packs were selling for $15, $19 a pack, the original Magic. But to think that I was even selling some of those packs back in the day. But we were selling them for a lot higher too, because we had different packs too. Because those boxes were selling here and there, but it was so huge when it broke out on the scene. And we were playing some of the stuff that was cheap imitations that were very dumb. I mean, I still have it here. It's right here. The Wildstorm. This came out.
Oh yes.
Right around '93. And Magic had come out. They knew Magic was really big. I think this came out in '94, and they went, we need to make it used to be comic cards. You used to just buy comic cards. And they said, we need to make our comic cards, make a little game out of it. So the game is basically, and here's just a few of them. They're just comic cards, that this nice gloss over, foil, whatever. And on the back is a silly little game of, let me see, it'll focus, of battle is what that is. I don't know if there it is, of battle. That's really all it is. You have some regular stats, but the game is very simple. These are just all extras I have. All my big collection is all carded. But I remember I was the last pack I ever got. I was missing one. It was the Wildcats team card, which is really anything like that. And it has a team on it and has that that foil background, whatever that's called hologram background.
Yeah,
those were expensive back in the day, and it was the last pack of cards at the card shop. They weren't getting any more, and it just so happened to have this one. I was so excited. I ran home. I told my friends, let's play Wildstorm, and they said, yeah, have you seen the new Wildstorm cards? We're going to play that game now. I was like, and the one time I could have played it was this past year. A friend of mine, his younger daughter got married, and his brother, who was my best friend, came in, and he said, do you remember that card game we used to play? I said, Wildstorm with the bat? He said, yeah. And I remember playing that all the time. I was like, yeah. And a lot of the gang was back. That night we went to a party, and I brought this and went, hey guys, look. And they were like, shut up. And when I said, yeah, we can maybe sit around and play one, they said, well, no, we still want to visit with people. I said, oh, yeah, totally. I want to play it, but I don't have anyone to play it with. Who cares? It's a crappy game too. It's just a game of battle, basically.
I remember those though. I might have even had some because I was just huge into the early Image stuff, like everyone was.
Oh yeah, Wildstorm, yeah.
But by the way, speaking of kind of like things that are slightly neglected in the fandom that like are quasi content related, again, some of those cards matter with stats and images and stuff. You remember the Galactic Files? You know, there were a number of cycles of those that came out sort of towards the end of the EU run. Do you remember that? Like they were sort of like kind of like a quasi card series. Remember that?
Okay, yeah.
And like some really important art comes out of it. Like I think it's where we see like Arica for the first time. You know, Mara Jade is Arica and things like that.
Yes.
I got to know one of the illustrators of a lot of that, and he sent me one of the original pieces that was used to make one of those cards. Check this out.
No way. Hold on.
It's Vader at Padme's tomb.
Oh wow!
So, and this is this like lithograph he sent me. So, what's kind of cool about this is that image, for instance, right? It's EU content, right? I mean, there's no dialogue, there's no action, but you know, it's just this was published as one of the Galactic Files, and I always thought this was one of the coolest images of the EU, and it's such an obscure thing, right? How many people even know about that product, right? So
I've never even seen that.
I love that image.
It's wonderful. I've never even seen that. That's awesome.
It's great. Yeah, it's so cool. And I found out recently that I think there's like a new Vader, like in the new canon, there's like a new Vader comic miniseries where it's like it actually sounds kind of interesting, where he's trying to like he's trying to like come to terms with what happened to Padme and stuff, right? Which is interesting. But I'm thinking to myself, no, like this did it first. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Once again.
There you go. That's right.
Yeah.
We haven't watched The Mandalorian. At least I haven't.
I haven't seen it. No, it looks interesting, but I haven't seen it.
Do we think Dune will be should become the next big sci-fi powerhouse?
I think it should. Yeah. I think those original novels.
You know what? I'll be honest. I saw the trailer and I don't know what all the hype's about. I mean, I'm going to see this movie, but everyone was like, did you see the trailer to Dune? And I was like, no, I guess I need to watch. I was like, well, I mean, it's okay, but it's not like mind blowing. I'm going to watch it anyway. I'll be honest. There is a trailer I saw that I just freaked out over. Tremors, Fury Island. Is that
really?
what it's called? Island of Fury, whatever. The next Tremors movie, number, what are we at now? 5, 6, 7?
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome. I had no idea.
Yeah, that's it. It's going to be awesome. It's got John Heder, Napoleon Dynamite in it. So I'm excited. I'm excited. Island Fury, I think is what it's called now.
Very cool. I was surprised how much I liked. Well, I was just to say, I mean, I think the Dune books should be the next Star Wars, but I was surprised how much I liked the WandaVision trailer. Did you see that this week for the new?
Oh no, I didn't see that. Is that neat?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like going to be on like one of those new TV shows, like her and Vision. Actually looked kind of interesting. And there's some speculation that it's going to be how like the X-Men enter the MCU, because it's like she's in some sort of like House of M scenario where like in her, she's created
her head.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
Huh. Scott, he doesn't want to sell it, but if he did, I'd be first in line. I'd probably get it for my brother. My brother was a big fan of it, and I'd try to play it with him, but my brother knew that one much better than I did. But yeah, it was very impressive that he has that. He did tell me on those later decks he didn't have that many, but he did get a complete set out of it. Everyone's reacting to your That picture from earlier.
Yeah,
that is impressive.
It's a great one.
I didn't see the who knew sparkling vampires could be the legit Batman. I did see it. I mean, like I said, I'll watch it, but it's so weird because I love Batman, but I wasn't like, who's the villain? I couldn't understand. Did they reveal who the villain was?
I think we know through casting. Yeah, I think it's
who's
Riddler.
The villain? Is he?
I think he's one of them, Riddler. Yeah.
Oh, it's the Riddler. Oh, I'll definitely watch it.
I think I heard that. Yeah, I think.
Okay, if it's the Riddler, then I'll watch it either way because Riddler's my favorite Batman villain.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
I absolutely love him. So underrated, except in Hush. Chris, are you an Uncanny X-Men fan?
Yeah, the X-Men is my favorite. Certainly, my favorite team book. I hate to admit the following because it makes me seem like kind of a normie, but Superman is my favorite character. But even though I don't like what they've done with him recently, but no, X-Men was always my favorite comic. Even though I don't like what they've done with X-Men recently, I don't know if you're following it, Matt, but I think it's bizarre and horrible, and I just long for the good old days. But
you need to watch. Have you seen Chuck Dixon's YouTube channel?
Yeah. Yeah,
it really he makes some insightful comments about comic books today and what's wrong, and that those writers are not writers. They don't care about comic books.
The weirdest thing.
No, go ahead.
Do you know anything about what's happening with X-Men right now with Jonathan Hickman? It's really weird. By the way, you know, the standard sort of thing is you're supposed to sort of critique all this stuff with some kind of like SJW lens. No, that's not the problem with comics today. The problem is that they took X-Men and they made them terrorists. They made them the bad guys, right? They took Superman and they made him a loser, right? That's the problem, in my view, at least. I mean, so yeah, so the X-Men now, they're like, they started, you know, they're now segregationists, right? So they threatened the world to they basically like blackmailed the world, right, in order to give them like sovereignty over this like mutant island, right? Fine, okay. On the one hand, you're like, finally, after all these years, maybe the X-Men are finally like, look, we're tired of trying to help you. We need ours. I get that, right? But the problem is the way that I just don't get it. And frankly, I don't know how they're ever going to retcon their way out of this now. So I kind of feel like the X-Men's over. You know what I mean? But they had a great, 50-year run or whatever. But no, I still say on net, it's still my favorite team book, you know.
There you go. Yeah. Riddler played by Paul Dano. It's the Riddler. Okay. I mean, I'll watch it because I love the Riddler. Make the Joker a good guy. Oh my goodness. Wait, not Batman and Lunatic. Yeah, I got comic books a long time ago. Mainly for me, and a buddy of mine said the same thing. They have totally outpriced the market for it. Because I mean, back in the day, they cost about $2, so you could get 10 comic books for $20.
Yep.
Nowadays, you can get 4, maybe, for $20, and you're like, that doesn't seem worth it. Like,
no, I mean,
the comic book industry, they've kind of outpriced themselves. Plus, they're not very popular. You know, it's not like the roaring 90s when they were just slinging anything out there and people were buying it. But it's like their prices go up, and you know that they can, they have that new glossy. See, that's what happens. Chris just rage quit. Oh, there he is. Hey.
No, it's funny. You kind of did that too once or twice.
I did? I didn't. Dang, I hope I'm not glitching out.
It's funny too. I forget what it was. I was reading a book today. So this is not going to come up well, but like, you see this kind of reminds me of the old 90s layout, right? It's just a lot of action. There's some interesting dialogue. Meanwhile, this is just a Snickers ad inside the book, right? This is better than the comic book itself, right? That's really weird. I turned the page and I was like, hey, this is cool, but what are you going to do? Yeah, but some of these books now too, it's like they're not, most of them are $3.99, which again is just crazy to me, because a quarter of it is advertisements. And by the way, that's the problem with Hickman. He does this other kind of like little cutesy thing where like another quarter of the pages are just these like graphics that don't tell you anything about the story. So again, it's just a little too much for me. But everything now is like a special edition. It's an anniversary edition, and you get extra page for another $1 or $2. It's just really, really wild. But this is cliche at this point, but it's true. They're all being written for trades, right? So everything is stretched out now. Everything's stretched out, right? So it's like, forget the fact that there's a billion tie-ins you have to buy. Even the main storylines now in one book take too long to get there. There's always garbage issues that are a waste of time and a waste of $4. Right. You remember, like, speaking of X-Men, do you remember what it was like in the early 80s when, like, people forget this, but like the Phoenix Saga and like Days of Future Past, those took place within a couple of issues. That's it.
Yeah. And yeah. It didn't drag out for a whole year.
Yeah.
It was just, it was straight to the point. There was no lull in the action. The story was strong the whole way through. Heck, I had the X Factor, the Armageddon, the Archangel story arc where he turns into Archangel. It's very solid, doesn't drag out. It's well written. And that's the thing. I just don't know. It's just, but the thing, it does depend on the writing. You got to write a good story. You got to write a good story, and the writers there, I just aren't comic book writers, or they hate comic books in a way, so to speak. They're doing it to build up, pad up their resume and move on. And it's just disrespectful to the comic book fan overall. But the price of it, I'm like, who are you kidding? Why do you think your book is worth that much? Especially these days, when, like you said, it's full of Snickers commercials.
Yeah, which by the way are worth it. It turns out they're actually worth $3. They're better than the thing. But I don't know. I mean, I in some ways I actually think things are getting a little bit better. I mean, like, Batman's been really good recently. There've been a couple of good things. There's some good changes, I think, coming down the road. But we'll see. I just don't know if the industry can survive. I mean, that's the only problem. But
that's the other thing. I think it's one of those things where I can't remember the statistics, but every 2 weeks another comic book shop closes. None are opening up; they're closing. We did get 2 comic book shops. I don't know if they're still in business anymore after COVID. I don't know because everything kind of froze for them too. And are they still going on? But both comic book shops are propped up by big investors. One comic book shop, he's friends with the guy next door who owns the shopping center. It's a tattoo guy, and the tattoo parlor, is making money. So he'll let him have a side comic book. Let one of his business partners have a side comic book on the business. That's the only way. That guy's not paying rent. He doesn't have a quota to make every month to make money. So it's just a hobby for him. And a lot of his issues are just stuff from his old collection. They're high priced because he doesn't want to sell it. You want the first appearance of Riddler, you're going to pay a couple $100, but you can get it from him, or stuff like that. He has some nice big, but it's obvious he didn't want to sell them. They're just trophy pieces he wants to showcase. And then you go into the other guy, and the only reason he has a comic book shop is because he's funded by a doctor who loves comic books and wanted to have a comic book shop in town. So he hired him to do it. And so all the money the doctor's making is just funneling into his little hobby. Well, when does he get tired of the comic book shop? The day he gets tired of the comic book, he said, well, it's cool to own a comic book shop, but you know what? It's not cool because they don't make money. When's he going to fold that business? And I hate that. I mean, right now he's the only comic book shop in town that gets new issues. So a lot of people go to him, but even that I bet isn't enough to cover cost anymore. It's sad. I mean, I want to support him at the same time, but there's nothing I want. There's nothing I want out there. Maybe I was talking to Geeks Addict last week, I think, about this. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles reprints, the original ones by Brian Eastman. I'm curious. I kind of would like that series. Plus the reprints that Eric Larson did under Image. I'd like to have all. I heard they reprinted those and finished off the story. I'd like to have that kind of stuff, but other than that, the comic books, I slowly whittled down my comic book collection just to get Star Wars books back in the day. And then, of course, when the EU went belly up, didn't have to get those either. But if you think about it, for Star Wars books, we were buying at least 1 or 2 every week was coming out.
Yeah.
Dark Horse had a Vader miniseries. They had a, which, like I said, were crapshoots most of the time. And then what was that? Agent of the Empire? What was his?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
The James Bond one. I wasn't a fan of that. I wasn't a fan of a lot of things. In fact, if they would have continued the EU and Dark Horse would have lost the rights to Marvel, I wouldn't have complained, because I think someone fresh needed to take that series from Dark Horse and kind of rejuvenate comic books.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You know, I remember those last couple of Vader miniseries they kept churning out. I mean, I like those a little bit more than you did, particularly the Ghost Prison one. I thought that was pretty clever, but I thought that you just got
that were good. You're right,
but you still got this sense that like, oh, like, it just felt a little corporate-y, for the lack of better. It's just like, okay, they're just churning this out now, you know, and you're just like, how long do we need another Vader comic set in this period, right? But
right.
By the way, oh yeah.
Do you know about this?
I do, and for the longest time, I completely avoided the Watchmen prequel thing, the Before Watchmen thing they did a number of years ago. I said I don't want to kind of go there, and then I remember a couple years back when they did the DC Rebirth thing, like 2016, they started kind of teasing this, right? And I kind of liked it. I was really surprised, and I believe I still haven't gotten through Doomsday Clock, but I really liked where they were going with it and some of the early Rebirth stuff. Like there's this really cool Batman Flash crossover called The Button that kind of, it's like The Button, right, from the community.
Right.
That's really worth reading, I think. And so I'm excited to see where the Doom. So I for some reason, all of a sudden, I kind of like it. I'm like, look, if DC can't do any better, why not just completely lean into the Watchmen stuff, right? You know. But by the way, Scott mentioned Power Rangers, which I agree, that was a pretty solid book.
It took a long time. That's because Chris Claremont has 50 pages of dialogue in one page, in one bubble.
Yep.
At times. So I never read the Power Rangers comic book. I saw it at the stores, but never read it. I don't. Not too sexual, because it was. In fact, I think Lucas put a stranglehold on that for the longest. We didn't have that many scenes in there because he knew kids are reading Star Wars books too. You know, I mean, Geek's Attic. I mean, he probably wants that sexual content. Even time I said that.
He's all lonely up in that attic, so.
It gets lonely up in that attic. Ask Stupid Chainsaw Productions. Ask Jeremy. He'll tell you. His answer is yes. I am watching The Boys right now. I think it's absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, it's one of the few things I'm actually watching kind of in real time.
Me too.
Right? Yeah.
It's the only thing I'm watching now. I'm binge reading still. What are you reading right now?
Unfortunately, like nothing fun. I'm reading. I'm reading. I'll show you.
Don't torture yourself, man.
Yeah, I'm reading. Let's see. I'm reading this. Hold on. 1,500-page case law book on it's a case law book on administrative law right now. So this is what I do for work. So almost everything I have right now, because we're sort of like redoing this area in the house. Mm-hmm. Everything I have is in storage right now. It's largely sort of precipitated by like the flood stuff, and then we're just deciding to do some different things down here. Which actually, so I have like no fun books out really. I kept a really, really, really tiny number, and believe it or not, I have like almost no Star Wars things like accessible. They're all in storage. But by the way, I thought this would be like a fun question at some point for like a more civilized age, like. Not like what are your desert island books, but like what are the things that like what's like the bare minimum you think you could actually live with in a situation like that? Because I had to decide what are like the 6 things, right? And believe it or not, most of my things are just reference books. Yeah,
that's a tough question. I don't know. I'd cop out on that and say all the above. I built so much time, but yeah, you have to look at you think of someone like Jeremy, he said this before, he lives in California as part of the wildfires that came through. He woke up one morning and he had 17 minutes to pack his stuff and go. Crazy. I die trying to stay inside the house, bringing stuff out. There's no way I could. My brain would freeze for about 15 of those 17 minutes, before I started scrambling. So I can't imagine what all those people go through and how much is lost, You think about that. You only have time to grab one bag and that's it. What do you get? What do you pull off that shelf? You know, the question becomes, what do I pull off the shelf? And it's just, but you're missing so many other things there. It's really interesting. A situation to think about. What would you save in that situation? Totally crazy, but it does happen. I mean, if y'all don't know, Chris had a flood in his basement where he kept a lot of his EU content. Don't watch the video. It's a tearjerker.
It's sad. It's sad.
It's a tearjerker to see all those books meshed together through wetness and just kind of stuck together, and you just kind of go.
And I realized, by the way, and I feel really bad, Scott, I never responded to you, but Scott sent me the most thoughtful email when that happened, you know, offering anything that he might have that I might need to fill gaps. And Scott, I never responded, but it was really, really sweet. Thanks so much for doing that. And by the way, his suggestions partially overlap with the few things I kept. Some of the, like the Reader's Companion and the Warfare Guide and a couple of other things, just because I don't know how long it's going to be that I'll have to wait to get them all back here. And I was like, what are the things that I want to dive into? And it was kind of like some of those sorts of things where it's like, yeah, some of those, I actually, believe it or not, it was just those. It was those in the Tales books from Bantam, you know.
There you go. Yeah, I saw that and I was like, I felt like Obi-Wan. I heard, it's like I heard a million voices cry out in anguish and then suddenly silence.
Brutal. Yeah, it was.
But see, when I think about things like that, what happened to you, what happened to Jeremy, it's sick. And it's just like, I mean, I am thankful that not many two natural disasters. I mean, we just had a hurricane pass over Monroe not too long ago. So, I mean, but I am kind of thankful. It always could have been worse, you know, but it's just crazy to think like that. Like, yeah, hey, it could happen. One of the things that Chris is, he's close to a place. It's really great shop for RPG content and stuff. And some of the stuff he's shown me is really nice. And it's a nice convenience to have such a big, they're nationwide. I bought stuff from them before, but it's so nice to have them locally there. Cause you showed me, didn't you show me a picture of the store? Like
yeah, that was just the store front, right? And meanwhile, it's attached to a warehouse. It's the largest game store in the world, right? So
didn't you show me one of those like panoramic view things? I analyzed that.
You'd go nuts if you were there.
Oh my gosh! I looked around. I was like, "That is incredible." I mean, just inch by inch. I analyzed. It was like I was searching for Waldo. You know, I studied that picture so well. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is just incredible." I was just enthralled by that. There you go. He pulled up all the science fiction book clubs.
Yeah,
expensive ones.
Yep.
Is he? I don't know. Are you excited about Hyrule? I'm not, but
no. I mean, I love that there's more Star Wars out there for everyone, but I just don't have time to follow the new stuff. So I'm glad that there's hype for it. But yeah, I don't know much about it, unfortunately.
The Tales stuff is pretty good. I enjoyed it because you get to know more about the characters. And what I like about these Tales stories, I don't remember if I never did give an overall synopsis of it because I'm doing it in chronological order and I had to break up the Tales stories. But one thing I really like about Tales is one of the few books. I put Tales in, is it, what's it called? Is it Cloak of Deception? I would put those two books, I mean, all the Tales books and Cloak of Deception in a special category, meaning they're so good, they make you want to rewatch Star Wars again.
Cloak of Deception? You mean Phantom, because you'd want to watch Phantom Menace again?
Because I want to watch Phantom Menace again. I was like, wow, all this was going on. I want to see the movie again and kind of know behind the scenes what was going on between that and that. I remember thinking that once I read the book, I said, I got to watch episode 1 again, you know, because like, wow, there's a lot of good stuff in here. You can't see it. It's not intentional, but the book just brings so much to that story that you want to go back and check it out. The Tales novels, of course, I popped it in, watched the Mos Eisley scene, paused it and goes, oh, they're so-and-so.
Yeah.
I know them now. I know their backstory. And that made it fun to know all the bounty hunters. You know, you didn't have to rewatch that because you knew what the bounty hunters looked like, but to hear what they were going through at that time, you're like, I know. Yeah, that's the fun thing about the expanded universe. You get to find out more about these movies that you love. and the characters get way more in depth. You talk about those data files, a lot of those cards named characters from the EU. They were the first ones to do it. A lot of West End Game stuff was the first one to do it. Name special characters in that. Give them little backgrounds on the card. You know, that was some of the first stuff, and it's amazing. It's amazing to hear that people went in and basically looked at everyone in the background. And I wouldn't be surprised if everyone in the background of the original trilogy has a name and a story by now, because they really just pinpointed just all these different people. All these people have just, I mean, Tales from Jabba's Palace. There's people you see like in a blip, you know, and you're like, oh, okay, they were there just for 1 second, but this is their story. Mm-hmm. I love that. I absolutely love that. Hold on. Let me see. I saw one that I thought was funny. Can Prince of the Universe go back to Star Wars E-Talk? I still listen to episodes 0 through 10. I mean, it can, but the thing is, though, we kind of moved on from that because we wanted to talk about other things. That's why it's called Prince of the Universe and not a Star Wars podcast, because we want to talk about other sci-fi things. If the topics arise, I'm happy to talk about. And who knows, we may be talking about more stuff on it. But I do have a more civilized age where we talk about different things like that, and that's kind of what we say. And watch out, folks, because next month you're going to have Chris on it.
Is that right? I'm not too civilized anymore.
No, baloney.
We'll see. We'll see. You know, I still listen to. There's a Princess of the Universe you did with Nathan Butler years ago now.
Yeah,
I re-listen to that fairly often. That's a really, really good talk you guys had. I'd recommend that to everyone.
Nathan Butler, there you go. Please put all episodes of. I thought they were on iTunes. Oh, some of the earlier ones aren't. I think it's because of that. I can't remember. The earlier ones aren't. The early ones, well, because I don't have the audio files anymore for the early ones. Those are on my old laptop now, but the early ones just went on YouTube, and then we switched over to iTunes, and that's why some of the early episodes aren't on iTunes. And I know they're not all on what's the other one? They're not all on YouTube either, because I took it off YouTube and we started just doing exclusive iTunes. And then this year I think I brought it back to YouTube. So I mean, and iTunes now. So I'm sorry about that. But I don't have those original audio files anymore. I guess you can pull it from YouTube and post it, but
you have a website too. There's like a WordPress website out there that has them all listed, even the first ones.
Oh yeah. You can check out. There's a Princess of the Universe blog that that's kind of how I get it onto iTunes, to be honest. It posts onto the blog, and then from there,
right.
I don't know how this works, but it reads the feed from the blog and automatically posts on iTunes. I set that up a long time ago. Don't even know how to use it anymore. But I know if I post on the blog, it'll link to that iTunes thing. So there is a Prince of the Universe blog. All it is just each episode. All the episodes are there in one big thing. So you can check out. I think Nathan Butler's that's on YouTube, right?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not certain about that, actually. I've had to go and find that on the old blog. Yeah, Scott, you'd get a real kick out of it. Yeah.
But good night, Michael. Good night, Michael. See you later. Nathan Butler's was a good one. Goodness gracious. Matthew Rosenberg was a good one.
Oh yeah.
There's been some good ones. I've had some good ones. Actually, the most listened to was the first time I had my brother on about his book. He must have gotten on social media and just spammed that everywhere. That was a big one. But yeah, there's been some good ones. There's been some fun ones. I really enjoyed the Wheel of Time much more than I thought I would, just because it was fun to have Bruce and Steven there talking about it. I'm reviewing those Highlander novels right now. I'm enjoying that. But Bruce is ready to come back and talk about a few other things too. But I do want to eventually I will get more authors on there. We were supposed to get, I love Joe Bongiorno.
Oh yeah.
On there too.
Yeah.
What you saw in 1 hour with Joe is what Joe and I talk about for 6 hours on the phone, except we laugh a lot more. He's a fantastic person. I can't talk good enough about Joe. Yeah. And Rich Hanley was supposed to be the next guest, but COVID hit and he kind of went under for a little while and came back, but then he got busy and he's busy working and I got busy. And so we haven't reconnected yet, but I want to put him on too, because he's another good friend of mine that we laugh a lot too. And we talk a lot. And so definitely someone I'd like to have on the podcast. And then basically any of these authors will talk to you. You just got to ask and everything. So getting some of those other authors would definitely be in the cards, and just interviewing one after the other. That'd be great. You know, it's just finding the time right now. Right now, I don't have the time, and the holidays are coming up, and sadly, I'm in a crunch there. So next year, I'd like to start doing it and put all that stuff together. But I think that'd be great. Shoot, I think it'd be great after I finish all the reviews. Maybe we do an author of the week on YouTube. Bring them on YouTube and have them, you know, talk to me, answer questions, and if so, they want to talk to everyone else. I think that'd be cool too. But that'd also be an alternative there, because I think I'd love for people, you know, like even Kathy Tires, Barbara Hamley. We're talking like the Bantam authors. I would love to have all them on too at a different time. I don't even know if Michael P. Q. McDowell writes anymore. I know Barbara Hamley does, and I think she teaches at a university. I'd gladly have her on to talk about those books. I think they would, because how many opportunities they have to talk about, you know, those books now. I don't think they realize there's so many people that still enjoy their novels today. They're just someone who wrote a throwaway Star Wars or Star Trek novel, you know what I mean? And so they don't think that much of it, and people don't probably remember that. But yeah, there's fans out there.
It's shocking. Some of those authors like Hambley and a few others, like, yeah, even Anderson to a small degree, like they're still huge. Like I go to like the Hugos every year, like the World like Science Fiction Convention, and like those folks are there, right? And they're big within those circles, but because of that, it's like they don't know that there's like a hardcore like EU fandom out there, right? They just think there's just this really broad amorphous group of people who just like sci-fi and fantasy. They don't know that there's this really extreme obsessive niche group of people, right, who like worship them, right? And I don't know why they don't know about it, but I think, yeah, it could be really cool to connect with them.
It's funny because when we talk to some of these authors who had old material and they don't have it anymore, like Elaine Cunningham, she was just surprised that people even cared about Blood Oath.
Yeah, right.
She's like, why would, I mean, no, she said that was on my old computer with diskettes and everything, and we threw that all away. But are there people who are interested in that? Like, it was, I'm shocked you know about it. Well, yeah, everyone knows about it. Star Wars fans want to see it. And she was just blown away by that. As was a few authors we kind of reached out to back then, just trying to get anyone. And a lot of them just, like I said, the problem we have trying to get those unpublished stuff is nowadays, there wasn't a cloud. There wasn't digital. There was a zip drive and floppy disk. And, you know, I used to have things, used to keep my old zip drive because I thought those are the best things in the world, man. Load stuff on it, read stuff off it real quick. But those stuff is gone. And when they threw away their old computer, I don't blame them. Throw away the diskettes too. You can't read it anymore.
Yep.
I'm sure you could buy a reader and move it over. But the thing is, though, they didn't think that stuff was worth it. Plus, it was a failed project. It never made any further than where they got. So they said, you know, just dump it. Who cares? But now you're seeing that a lot of people care about this type of stuff. I would love to have seen blood. That's why we were talking about earlier. What's a Grail book? Well, Blood Oath. It was a lot of it was written. It's just that Elaine Cunningham got sick and fell behind and missed her deadline, and they had to move on without her. But the book was partially written, probably a good portion of it too. But we'll never see it. And I would have loved to have seen that one. That's the New Jet Order book that we never got to see the light of day. I'd love to interview other authors like Michael Jan Friedman, who was going to be writing the trilogy that got the Jedi Twilight trilogy that got canceled. I'd love to talk to him and say, hey, what ideas did you have? Where are we going to go with it? That'd have been interesting stuff. There's a lot of questions out there that I think just haven't been asked to some of these authors that I would be very interested to hear what they'd have to say.
I saw a comment about Zahn's doing this new trilogy in the new canon, all about the Chiss Ascendancy, and it's one of those things that I know Joe is. I don't know if he's caught up with that yet, but I'm sure he would be interested in weaving that into his unified canon. But I see that on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, who knows? Maybe someday, some year I'll get to that. But it's like, I see that and I go, gosh, like that just proves to me that there was no reason to decanonize, right? I see that triggers me because I'm just like, yeah. Like, great. If it's so close, why did we need to? So I don't know, it just kind of bums me out. But I mean, again, I've heard really good things. So I'm really happy that folks have that, follow the new stuff. So.
Yeah. And John Whitman was really hard to find, really hard to get a hold of. And yeah, I guess he is a martial arts instructor now. But the thing is, that man had 2 books fully written, young story groups above Star Wars fairy tales about young Jason and Jaina. And again, that's another person I'd love to talk to. I don't think he has them anymore, but I think Joe was offered those a long time ago and then just sat on it too long and lost his contact information. That's one of Joe's biggest regrets, was not following. But he said there was a ton of other stuff going on right then. And, he was trying to get this and that and this and that. And then as the years went by, he's like, oh, no, I never got back with John Whitman. Now he couldn't get a hold of him. But the Star Wars fairy tales, books 1 and 2, were fully finished and written. That was supposed to be the next series. And then Scholastic went, oh, there's a new movie coming out. Let's do Jedi Apprentice instead, which I understand. I get it. But, I would have loved, what would they have been about? What would they have been like? Supposedly it was just Jaina and Jason having little adventures and scary adventures of something
right,
fantasy-wise happening to them. But to be honest, John Williams' Galaxy of Fear was pretty good. The man was pigeonholed and told to write it like Goosebumps, and he still did a good job. He still did a good job connecting as much continuity as he can. And that's another thing. Even the children's novels back in the 90s, they knew, John Whitman knew, I think old people like Matt are going to buy this, so I better put in some continuity stuff with the other EU books. And he did. And it was awesome. It was awesome to read Galaxy of Fear and see one connection after the next.
Yep.
You're not going to see that again. That's so much respect for the reader. There's a reason these books and this whole series was really popular with fans. Every author respected the reader. Every author. You talk to Ryder Wenham, that man spent hours looking over things, making sure, hey, I can connect this. Hey, here's a contradiction. Let's smooth that over. Oh, here's a storyline that never got finished. Let me try to finish that here. And ties. You look at his Adventures in Hyperspace #3 on Joe's website, and at the end, even just as good as the story, is an interview with Ryder Wenham to tell you how much study went in to a children's novel. Unbelievable. Anyway, all right, it's getting late. I hear a girl crying. I gotta go, guys. Thanks for coming on, Chris. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
And everyone have a wonderful rest of your week. More New Jet Order reviews